And change to go before we get the latest decision from Fed Chair Powell, followed after that at 2:30 by the press conference, where we'll get hopefully a little more in-depth detail as to what he's thinking and how they're going to approach the remainder of the year. This is how the CME Fed Funds tool has been ever since the last meeting, essentially. It's been on its way up from, if you remember, 80 and then 82 and then 85 and into the 90s. So yeah, 99% that we're going to get a hold today. If you then go out to the end of the year here, I'll show you December, there is still 34.1% chance that there is going to be another quarter point hike come before the end of the year, but 61.4 there also on the hold all the way up to December. So going to be a hold today. We're not going to get a rate hike, but what will Fed Chair Powell say at 2:30? We'll get you set and ready here. We'll talk a little bit about what to look at as far as what is going to be moving. Obviously, the market. What are we going to have up to indicate whether it's weak or strong? Guys, what are you going to be looking at?
Well, you're going to look at the first of all, welcome everybody. We're not expecting, if there's a rate change, all heck is going to break loose, right? Because if they were to raise, you could pretty much, that's a wrap. Like, it would just be like the bid would evaporate, all that good stuff. So you're going to watch the Qs and the ES to see general market direction. I think some of the bigger chip names will make a lot of sense to me. NVIDIA, AMD. I am in Intel. It's probably a safer thing usually on a Fed day to be in if you're going to be in position or just be in the money in something, and it's okay. I have Apple up because Apple's getting to some key levels. It's down 1%. The chips have been kind of all over the place. AMD up, NVIDIA down, Intel down. But Apple, I think, is going to be in play. I like to have stocks that are at very, very key levels that I think can be, you know, kind of bid support or offer resistance when we get that whipsaw action right at 2 o'clock. Because that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a trend after 2:30, and I'm looking for whipsaw action. If we get that, then it might look a little something like this on the NASDAQ, where it's been an inside-ish day, right? Like, you're going into that high from yesterday, and you haven't really even taken out the overnight lows, so you've got this 100-point or just less than 100-point range. If we break it out to the downside, I just look for yesterday's bottom to potentially be support on the futures. Now, at that point, if you're not trading the futures, a lot of names could come into levels where there could be bounces. Maybe NVIDIA 420 is one of those that I was mentioning this morning. I don't necessarily think you have to get it, but that's one that's out there. If we get a bounce in those futures, NVIDIA 420 gives you a huge bounce zone, pops to the upside, 445 resistance on NVIDIA. So that Apple 180, I think, could come into play as a short level on the upside. And that's what I want to do. Like, I want to play the periphery early. Don't worry necessarily about generating a trend until Powell hits the podium at 2:30. And then don't forget, sometimes there's a bit of a volume spike and a short-term reversal when he gets off of the podium. So he'll start speaking at 2:30. If we start trending one way, great. Just watch out for when he lifts the podium or leaves the podium. Sometimes you can have a move there as well. And we might talk a little bit about that IPO. I think it was the right call not to go long that one. It just ended up, it was pretty thin, ended up selling off pretty heavily, that Clavio there. So I don't think it was anything that anybody was, oh, I'm taking the opening print for 100% and we're going to jam long. It just didn't have the hype of the other names. So probably not much reason to talk too much about it. We're not trying to ignore it, but I doubt we trade it.
Yeah, we stayed away from that CVYO there. CVYO, right? Or KVYO.
Yeah, K.
It's like, oh, we got it right again, but we didn't. We just waited, and I heard all this talk on the midday show there. I don't know if they were trading it or not, but all this talk about Elon and Tesla. But we actually put some trades on right there. We let it finally. I mean, I was sitting right here, right? And it was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it was just like, where is it eventually going to stop? I just waited until we got a couple tops there before going short through 273. So you can see the price that we have right now, 272.85. So we're right now $2 in the money on this. And a couple quick covers for $1, then $1.50. Then 271.30, I guess that's $1.50 right there. And then right there is $2 at 271 flat. And right now, we're same spot. So let's see what happens with Tesla right now. We had a big short on for AMD. I mean, we actually lost going short all the way up until eventually it got to 103. And then that's where we put on three shorts into there, brought it all the way back down. But wow, AMD, like crazy amount of trading today. Like, look at this, all longs on the way down, all shorts on the way up. So a little bit of a mess there on AMD. We'll hold and see if we can't get it back in the pocket right now on that one. And then CGC. Great trading today on CGC. Like, we shorted that 97, 98 there, and then out, got out almost all of them. Not almost all, but enough right there, as we only have a third left, or less than that. A quarter left down here at 90 cents. So yeah, we'll watch it all. And then what are we going to trade when the market turns, right? Well, I mean, we've got TQQ on board here. We'll look at that. And then I just want to look at the NASDAQ a longer time frame, because unless we do get a move that's unexpected, then let's just expect what's going to happen. And, you know, a nice move back up into the 200 period, 15,500. We're still waiting for that bump, or we're waiting for a flush to take down basically 15,250 right there. So either we break that bottom on whatever, or we get up to the top. If we're just going to stay in the middle here, then I think I'll be hands off until, like we said, there's an actionable trading event that happens, and that's probably Powell getting off the podium or whatever. The best thing about this show is that we're going to have Brendan there that's going to read through all the, you know, the writing, and you know how they strike through words that were no longer there and things like that. But hey, we still got 7 minutes. So,
plenty of time.
What do we want to? Are we ever throwing it back there? Or okay,
we could.
Good. Yeah, whenever. I don't know what the plan is. So yeah, let us know if we want to go back. We can do that. I'm just going to chill out here. And again, let me put a trade out quickly. The TQ is up to 40. I think that's a short where the day started. And then I'm a little more nervous about the longs, but I think you have a 40 top and a 39 bottom. So I think you can look for those if the market does decide to do a little bit of a dance there when Powell comes through. So.
All right, just watching the market here popping back to the upside right now. This is something that typically happens on these days. The liquidity, as we like to say, dries up, and there's not much in the way of resistance on both sides. So nice move there back to the upside. I mean, it was 25 cents or so for the SPY. So here's what we're going to be looking at as we head towards the top of the hour here. This is what I'll have up when we actually get to 2 o'clock. So U.S. interest rate decision here at 2, expected to be 5.5. That just means there's no change. Remember last time we did this, they went to 5.25 to 5.5. So no change would be 5.5 still. So we'll look to see whether or not that number comes out. It'll populate right here. There. It'll populate in this box right here, and it should be another 5.5%. The prior also 5.5%, and then it's all eyes and ears towards Fed Chair Powell, who is practicing his best scowl in the mirror right now backstage before the press conference coming up in just over half an hour right now.
Yeah, Neil rivaled him on that scowl.
It was close.
Like
I mean, yeah. it was pretty close.
What I want to see is basically what is going to be excluded from the notes. I mean, you usually have that, what's omitted and what's been added. That's another one. The dot plot, like I mentioned on the show, the midday as well, is going to be interesting to see where the other FOMC members see the interest rates in the future. So good luck. Yeah,
so if this is your first go around with one of these, a couple things to note. We'll get the actual statement. So when Fed Chair Powell comes out at 2:30, he starts off the press conference by actually just reading the statement. So the interest rate decision that comes at 2 o'clock will be accompanied with that statement that he will read at 2:30. What Sharif was referencing is simply just what has changed as far as the wording is concerned in that statement versus the last time that we went through all of this. If there's significant changes, we could see a little bit of a bigger move in the overall market. If there's no change whatsoever or just very minor changes as there was the last time, probably won't see much movement whatsoever in the overall market outside of the fact of, as I was saying, liquidity kind of dries up and there's not really much to hold it back. We're about 5 minutes away now. So if you go back to the minutes of the last meeting, we got those going back 2 weeks ago, I think it was. They pointed to more indecision, more Fed members not on the same page as one another, and more of a split decision whether or not they should continue to raise or stay the same.
Which is a newer revelation, because until this point, or thereabouts, they had been in consensus, right? So we'll have to wait and see how many dissenting members there were, if there are any on this. We know that the blackout period will be over after this meeting, and the different members will come and they'll be able to speak to the media, and they'll give you exactly what their thoughts are. So it's not just a one-off event. We'll get the reverberations and the repercussions of this in the weeks to come.
Right. This is also one of those Fed decision days where we'll get the economic projections from the Fed. This is an every other meeting event. So every other meeting they come out with, I'm pretty sure it's 1, 3, and 5-year inflation projections. I'll double check on that. But we're also going to get those in the statement. So that will come out right away. So if for whatever reason those projections have been moved up, worst case scenario, or best case scenario lower, then we could also see a little bit more of a movement. Couple minutes to go here, guys. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, usually we always tell people, like, be patient. You don't have to chase whatever the first move might be. A lot of times, if you have a key level, allow it to try to get to that price level, because you're going to get sometimes you get some really serious price action. I don't know that necessarily we'll get that today, but if you do, just try to be patient around your key levels. So, like, the last thing you want to do is be way too early on something that you can't hold, and then you get the turn you're looking for. So, pick your spots. Understand that it's not always going to be really volatile, but when you get these liquidity type events, liquidity dries up, and you tend to gravitate toward the key price levels in that moment. So trading in the middle of a gap can get you into a lot of trouble for something like this. So that's just the advice I have. You don't absolutely have to trade. A bit of a bounce in the market right now, so some of these levels might start to come in if you're looking for resistance levels anyway. Some of those could start to come in here, Apple getting into VWAP. But 2 minutes to go. Let's breathe. We know exactly what to expect here. It's always a little bit more stressful when it's a little bit up in the air. Like if it's 20 or 30% chance to get one thing versus the other. But when we know exactly what we're going to get, and then he's going to read the statement, you have to take some time to sift through it. Like nobody's really on edge right now, at least I don't think. So that's how it should be. We've traded days where that's not the case, but I feel as if today we know exactly what to expect, and I think 2:30 gets a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, I think we're fine. I mean, we're just going to wait to see what does come through here. Again, you could get out of some stuff right now quickly if you did want to. I mean, we could punch out a little bit more here okay, well, 29s we just got filled right there on AMD. So just trying to get all setups here so that when it comes through that we are well prepared with anything, right? I'm still going to try to respect some key levels like 103 if we get up there on AMD. We'd like to reshort it, but other than that, I feel like I was just looking at the TQs on the board as well. So we'll zoom this back out just a little bit more so we can have a little bit of a better look here to see the bigger time frames here when it comes out. And like Neil said, man, it's just basically just buckle up. I mean, we don't expect anything to be too dramatic. It's going to be 99%. It's going to come through. We've now got less than 1 minute to go before you hear unchanged, Brendo.
Yeah, exactly. So this will not be the most exciting part of the day, but we'll bring it to you anyways as it happens here. So again, if you're just joining, 5.5 expected for the Fed funds rate coming up here in under a minute. It'll populate right here. You should see 5.5 come in at that, and then we'll get the statement. I'll sift through the statement, make sure everything's more or less the same. It's probably going to be more or less the same, and a lot of data dependent. We'll wait and see what the numbers tell us as we get closer. Yeah, under 10 seconds to go here as we await. So 5.5% expected from Fed Chair Powell. Do you guys want something quick? Okay. Oh, I was a little bit off there. My apologies. 5 seconds to go. All right, here we go. So we'll watch this box here, 5.5 expected. It's going to be 5.5, and then we will wait. Yeah, there it is. No change, guys. No change as expected, so that was uneventful. Let's jump over to the guys for the reaction.
Well, if you're sitting in a short.
Yeah, which we are. We got a nice little short
Nice
there. I mean,
fill.
here comes Tesla all the way to the downside. It just went to 270 flat there. We didn't have any bids. And also, we didn't have any bids on AMD either right now. So let's just continue to see what's going on right now in this market. AMD flushes. You can see the liquidity really dries up right now. So there's the move down. Let's see if it can continue. There we go. Yes. Yes, sir.
Now we're going.
Spin it right now. It's a nice little trade. You have Tesla right now going to, let's get that right there. We have Tesla now $3 in the money. We're starting to make a little bit of a downside push push right now. Tesla just bouncing again off 269.50. Let's put a bid there.
Yeah, I got a couple of fills. I got one fill right away. I have Rivian short, that broke 23. That's getting some 90s. Intel got to the downside as well. I did have a Neo from earlier on. I'm out of that, so only into the shorts. Wait for the move. You could always get a bounce play here as we go back to Brendan. Lots is going to be coming through.
All right, not going to be able to show you this, unfortunately, but Fed projections, guys, pointing to one more quarter point hike before the end of the year, which we kind of anticipated. 50 basis points of rate cuts then within 2024. So remember, I was saying 1 year, 2 year, and 3 year projections come out on this Fed release. So at least 50 basis points of cuts in those projections for 2024.
So, I mean, when Tesla went up, I kind of went over to Rivian because it didn't actually make sense to me, that news. But I'm now, that was fast. I'm actually out of Rivian. It retraced the entire move back into 2280. Going to hang on to Intel. I knew I liked that one short. Even CGC went down. Everything is headed to the downside. We are now negative on both the ES and the NASDAQ. NVIDIA, I mean, there's no 420, but it just broke 430. So for now, NVIDIA looks like the 430 level's trying to hold up on a wick. Brendo?
Just quick on that, Neil. It was 100 the last time. That's why. So 50 this time, 100 the last time.
Yeah, we had spoken about it all week that we kept on looking at the November issue there. We kept on talking about, as if someone's phoning me right now. That's hilarious.
It's not a...
No, it was a 416 number, so I don't know who it was. But anyways, funny because we said that with the price of oil and everything like that, that it was going to be no surprise that, they're going to look at the data and then probably raise one more time because I feel like CPI could be a problem next, but we'll wait to hear what is popping. So we just got some more outs there on NVIDIA, or on AMD, no new trades. And then, of course, we did take a similar bid there on CGC, see if that can go down. And then we didn't take the Tesla fill because I'm going to wait for 269 flat. I mean, I just thought if it does come back in, there's still a lot more movement to happen here today. Nice flush down. We actually did that work for you. Remember, we talked about what some key levels might be, and we looked at down here. Didn't quite get there. So I still think there's more downside to come here. But that's a pretty big nothing burger of an announcement, like we said.
Yeah.
NASDAQ was up here, 5,360 down to 5,310. So about 40 to 50 points of downside move there on the NASDAQ. And then a very, very similar move in the ES, coming down to 44.83 right now. This is actually much more muted, of course, just because of a percentage point wise there. Only down 0.14. ES just turning red on that move. And it looks like it's 15 handles at maximum right now. So as expected, so now we just do what we say, man. We're going to wait to see what Fed Chair Powell has to say. We can go look over at Apple quickly. There's the move right there off VWAP. I mean, to have been short, like we said, you just got to sort of hold the short and hope that it's going to work. But Apple makes the move all the way to VWAP and then down $1 right there, clean off of that. So that's a big move there for Apple. Like I said, man, we're still $3 in the money on Tesla. Hopefully that'll get a little bit better. We are now 75 cents in the... Oh, we have too many wicks on Amazon. Now 75 cents in the money on Amazon off of these shorts. So yeah, so far so good as we hold on to some of these shorts. No new positions for me because really, I mean, nothing really broke too much here.
Yeah, nothing went far. Yeah, that's a good point. Like nothing went to the levels that I think, like the extreme. You want to make these extreme moves there. TLT rolling over, obviously that makes sense. If you're looking for some things that are breaking lows and looking extremely weak, Meta broke through the low and is trending down. I mean, Apple broke the low as well, but that's Meta. This is Apple. So Apple broke the low. I don't know that it was as weak. Apple was always sort of sitting at VWAP. If this is a rubber band move back to the upside, my first look is very simple. Previous resistance, right? Like I don't want to get too crazy with this. If we whipsaw right back in, the scalp trade would say retrace the move, get back into the short at the same price level, like the same thing. I was sitting in the short at VWAP on Intel, and you could have added to it right before the announcement. Now I think I would if it gets back up there. That makes a heck of a lot of sense to me. If you're looking at NVIDIA, it also like Meta looking a little bit weaker than some of the other names. We could really get dragged down if we get underneath that 430 level. So, Coinbase, that's a good one. We talked a little bit about most of the big cap tech name. We didn't really look at crypto. Coin, that was relatively strong and is starting its roll. something crazy happens, I don't want to ignore. 78 is kind of a flat bottom breakdown on coin. Now, things are support till they're not, but watch out for that level on Coinbase. If things get nasty, this goes green to red at 78, and it's a flat bottom break. Brendo?
All right, here we go. Here's your red line statement this time, guys. So again, this is just comparing statement over statement. So everything that's crossed out or underlined or red has either been altered slightly or removed completely. So being robust, changed to slowed, and then down here, decided to raise to maintain. That's it. Everything else, exactly the same.
Lots to dig into.
Right. We just got out some more there. We knew that was going to come. We talked about that. We're going to go to Brendan. He's going to figure out, what was there, what wasn't there. I guess Adriana there at the bottom. New member or new?
Why does Adriana get to be in red? And
maybe she wasn't at the last.
Was it last?
But okay, right there. We just got another piece out on the bottom there for AMD. So let's go. We were waiting for Tesla to get to 269. It got to like 269.20 or so. So let's just put a bid down there in case it does get back up. But it is getting juicy back now to the upside. So watch out for Tesla starting to go.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned NVIDIA. So I did want to just short it against this 433. That's where we were right before the announcement. We were actually right here. So let's see if it wants to get going. I'm going to short it against 433. So we're going to get short like at 432.80. Something like that. Well, that's what I'm waiting for. So we'll see if it can come through right now on that play. Yeah, but other than that, man, everything's groovy right now. CGC, maybe I'll put a bid here and get some more out at 92.
There's been just on the CGC, I know we're both still sitting in that short for under $1. There's been a support level at 90. It just cannot seem to break the size at 90. So I think getting some out in front of 90 is going to make some sense here. As far as the banks go, JPM went green to red and back to green. So, it flushed like everything else did. I haven't looked at any other banks, just JP, because I know the 150 is a good level for it. Maybe we don't get that today. But that 149, this is right around where you go from red to green. So I think this could be a nice little level. That, VWAP, 150, that's what you're looking at. I want to stick with Apple, NVIDIA, if we get some outside movements, outside of what I'm already in at this particular point. Oh, yeah, I should have gone over this one. Just in case it happens, there we go. Like ARM barely moved. I don't know why. Maybe they don't care, but ARM didn't do much of anything on the rate number, and it's been a good short on ARM, about 53.5 into 53.85. Now it's weird that it didn't move to the downside. Maybe that means it's strong, but if it were to press up there, that same level from this morning could be a good one. I don't think I expected a 20-cent range in the first 8 minutes on ARM for whatever reason. Maybe it just put in the move already today.
Yeah, we got stopped out of Instacart earlier. That's all the way down. Let's check out that KVYO. See,
Isn't it KYVO?
KVYO, no. I got it right this time,
right.
Fabio. Okay, so just a quick little look here at what's happening with this stock. Nothing. So again, not a good IPO one more time. So 36.75. I have no ticks on this, but pretty boring down into the downside right now. So KYVO. All right, so let's just look at the TQs. Where did we go on the market right now? So you can watch the NASDAQ if you want. Someone asked a question there. When we are, Apple, Microsoft. Yeah, we'll look at that, Ash. Someone said that when we are talking about going short or selling, are we buying puts? But that would be true if we were trading options, but we are just trading equity. So we are actually sitting here. First of all, get the hell down right now, Tesla. So when we talk about Tesla, like I'm actually short physical shares right now of Tesla right here. So when I'm saying it's $3 in the money, this is not, I don't have to close a put or anything like that. We just have to buy them back. So right now I am bidding right now at 269.20s. So hopefully that'll come down in. It's only 50 cents from now, right? So hopefully we get a nice little dip buy opportunity in that one. But just looking at the market, the Qs did come down to that 39 level that we were talking about. Watch out for a possible move back into there. But see, this is exactly what it's doing. It's trying to figure itself out. So now that we're hanging out down here, the only thing that's can save this market is Jerome coming back and talking about, what he's going to talk about right now. So, we're going to, that's who was phoning me. Okay, I'll talk to you after, Jerome, but thank you so much for all of that. And Jerome Powell will not be calling in to today's recap show. So you can join me as we will discuss more and more opportunities in the Fed, what this means maybe for tomorrow, what we're looking at, monetary supply, Bitcoins, all that kind of jazz. Here's the move down right now in the market, finally looking to take out those bottoms right there. So we're already through it, looking to take out this bottom that we just put in right now. We talked about 15,250. That's right where we are right now. What's up, Brendan?
Market continuing lower. This could be part of the reason why. Here's the dot plot, guys.
Yeah, this is essentially over here where the different Fed participants, members, think the interest rates are going to be. So the majority of them think it's going to be at 5.5. Some of them still think the rest of the year will bring a possible hold. But this is where it gets dicey, guys, and this is where they all start splitting up for 2024. One of them sees the rate going up above to 6%, while the majority think it's going to be above 5%. And that's what the concern is. Elevated, higher for longer, the majority feel.
The 2- and 10-year inversion, 79 basis points, which is multi-month highs as well. So we're heading in the wrong direction for yields.
We're heading the right direction if you happen to be short, though. And that's sort of the thing. You don't have to have a bias, but the market was trend to the downside underneath that VWAP, and lots of opportunities out there. I just took a couple of bids out there as we got near the low of the day on Intel. But we got a lot of people watching. I hope you're enjoying it. It ain't over. Do that. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, share it with your friends. We're not going to talk about moves that happen an hour later like other places are going to do. We're going to trade them live, and we're going to talk about what's moving in that moment. At 2:30 when Powell hits the podium, I'm expecting some kind of reaction. Sometimes you get a bit of a reversal of the move temporarily. We'll be right there for it. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be an exciting one, and we're going to give you some insights, like the fact that I don't know why ARM decides it wants to be going up right now. I have absolutely no clue. Like, the market is off the lows, ARM barely fell, and now you're pressing to the upside. So a bit of a change of what's been happening on these IPOs the last few days, which has not been good. I was only short. I'm going to be a bit hesitant. I was saying, yeah, I'm going to like this short. Let's see some weakness come into it first, because that's a bit counter trend, and you don't want to be fighting that trend. The trend is your friend until the end. When it bends, a wise man once said to me. So it should be an interesting one. I am keeping an eye on TLT just for myself here. Kind of that chart. Sometimes you want to look at the futures. You can look at the DXY. You can look at what's going on in treasuries. You're still trend down. If we break support on TLT, look out below, flat bottom break. If that happens, hold on to your butts. Hold on to your shorts.
Yeah, right now, here is the DXY right now. It's trying to make a move back up. Nice move right there. Solid, right? Right there, boom. And the thing is like, we knew this was going to happen today, so next time we'll have to definitely look at that. So maybe we go the other way when they raise on. Well, you know what? That makes sense, though, because if they're going to say that they're going to raise one more time this year, it was only 37% or something for November. I bet you that's way up, and we will double check that as it goes. But if let's go to like maybe a daily plot here. That's a daily. Let's go to a 1 month maybe. So you can see right now we're just coming off the bottoms. We still need to take out this 105.50 back to September last week highs right there, 105.40. We'll see if we can take that out right now, 105.07 right now on the dollar index coming through. So we'll check back on that in the next little while to see if anything is coming through on it. All right, so just quickly there, Apple trying to find a bottom. Maybe we have found that. So is it worth a long? 176.60 right now. Just to like say, let's try to see if we can make a hero play here. Maybe on Apple. They have the rate tool, as I was discussing, and there it is right there. So it was 30% yesterday. Now it's up to 40 again right now. So we'll see. Still a higher chance of no move there. What about the next one? Oh, that's December. What about November? That was the one that we were most concerned with.
Yeah.
There it is right there. So that's still 30%. So
you got to check it.
Yeah.
When he hits the podium, expect some movement on that. So we want to check that as well after 2:30 and when he's taking some Q&A. Right? Let's see what he has to say, and then the verbiage. Every now and then there'll be some double speak. Like, he'll say one thing early on, and then 10 minutes later he'll be a little bit hawkish, and then he'll go dovish like 10 minutes later. But you do want to pay attention to that. Yeah. I'll be watching. The good thing about it is if that's going to move around, I'm going to see TLT. We'll see the futures go as well. So you want to have something that you are referring your trades to if you're trading equity. We didn't really talk that much about Klaviyo. This isn't a downtrend. I feel like this might be a good short. That was the IPO today. It was good through 36. I traded one level, 36 short into 35, and then kind of reversed long from 50-cent scalp trade, then stopped trading it. It looks pretty good off VWAP here. If it can start resisting that stair step down, paid for locates on Klaviyo, I just can't see this looking very strong if the market's going to be red. Hold red today. I can't see this IPO holding up all that well.
All right, so we'll go like this because we finally have a new position here on the show right now for you. So here it is. We're going to go long. We talked about this Apple bottom jeans. 176.57. Yeah, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe for sure on this one. And if you don't want to do it because of me, do it because of her at least.
Like and subscribe today.
That's great. Okay, so make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, all that jazz. So I'm going to try to go long in the 60s here. Give it for... Thing just keeps on going. Give it to the bottom of this play right there, breaking through 50. I think is a decent spot there for us with Apple. So here it goes. Nice little move back up to the upside, but still. First out, I mean, we could take an out here if we wanted to. I mean, our stop's only, this is a very small position, so let's take something out in the let's go 177.05 or so. We'll put some orders a little bit higher than that as well, just in case we do float higher. Right now on this play, right? And so that's fine. We are going to wait. There's only 14 minutes till Jerome gets on, but there's Apple. Nice move to the downside. Again, Apple much weaker than the market. So if the market can bounce back, I mean, we just saw Apple go on a little run. I don't know why that happened right before Fed, but then Fed came and boom, as expected, takes this market down. So there it is right now. Here we go. Not bad. A little 20-cent winner now for Apple. Let's see if it can come back in. Remember, our stop was going to be break of 50, but we are waiting for more shares. So that's why we need this one to float up a little bit more. This is kind of just play money early. We'll see if we can put something on late. Out of AMD already. We have a very, very small piece left on this one. We got most of them out right here. A little nervous about this. AMD is a positive name today, so you know that's why anything bumping back up would not surprise me at all if AMD does get a little bit of a bump here. So we're out. We have a very, very small piece left, and there's Apple right there. So we'll go right now, man. Not much diamond hands, but we'll take it. We just put this trade on for you right now. So hey, if you're enjoying the show, man, put some ones in the chat. There we go. It's 30-cent winner for you. Hopefully you bought those calls on Apple right now. So there it is. Nice little move to the upside.
Yeah, the market's trying to go to the upside here. I feel like we have 13 minutes till he hits the podium. I want something which is already trending that I don't necessarily have to worry as much about what's going on with Mr. Powell. So I got my orders on Clavio there. I already mentioned that. We're going to take the fill, give it into VWAP. I'll only add through that price if we happen to get it. Oh, I do want to respect that ARM move. We were just talking about ARM and how it was counter trend, and it's looking really, really strong. Well, okay, it got right back into the local high and then wicked it. If you're going to tell me to risk 15 cents on a trade that I usually like, I like to jump into this, reject the same top that we had before, and I'll take that short. There was a good point in the chat there about how there might be people waiting for Fed to buy into ARM. I don't necessarily disagree with that. We're talking about day trading here. So maybe people want to get into this. I think the valuation is nonsensical, but that's just me. It's a short till it's not. But if it breaks out this local high, I would not fight this past 54. Just allow it to move. Resistance is resistance until it eventually breaks. I see NEO is running again. I got out of my long in NEO. Might have to jump back into that one. SSR play day 2 after that convertible bond offering they had.
Convertible James Bond. Yo, what's up, Steve? Steve J says, only Sean can get excited when the market pops, but yet he has shorts on. Yeah, so I've already talked about my shorts, right? I mean, AMD, we've already, honestly, man, we've already barbecued that one up and put some money in our pockets. We're almost out of it. I'm going to get out if it breaks. Here, this is for you, Steve G. If this breaks 102.06 or so, let's just get out of the rest of that, right? It's already $1 in the money right now. So thank you again, guys. We asked for you guys to put those ones in the chat, and you guys showed up. So thank you so much for that one. Tesla. Okay, we still do have a quarter of this trade. It is making the move back up. I am waiting to see about more short here for Tesla coming through. I feel like we could stop out right here if it takes out 272 maybe on the upside. But I was just excited, Steve, like for Apple, because we just put this on. We put it on for everybody. We'll take another piece out here as it goes up through give me some 19s. So yeah, I'm just a little bit excited because we've able to put on some good trades, or at least one good trade for everybody to see right now. Here comes, all right, let's get out of half of what we have. If this breaks above 272, we'll get out of 50% of that trade. So there's our Tesla out now as well. So yeah, so far so good. That's all. We'll wait. Hopefully we can get some more trades coming through right now. Amazon, again, like just hovering. Maybe a 137 break we can get out of Amazon right now, and then that will be triggered as well. So there goes that trade, hopefully coming out on Amazon. And then after that, man, yeah, I mean, we're just really waiting to hear what happens at 2:30, because other than that, there's not a whole heck of a lot happening right now. So, I'm in Tesla. That's a very violent mover. CGC is not doing anything. So I don't really have any bids on this one. I don't have a bid on this one until 86, which is a way lower bid than where we are right now. Maybe we'll just put something at 91 just for shits and giggles. But
Meta's trying to break out.
Yeah, other than that, Meta's trying to break out. Okay, so Apple's still trying to give us that 20 fill. So when that happens, good.
So it just, Meta's trying to go here. By the way, ARM just took out that level. I said I'd risk, if you can let me risk 15 cents off a level that gave you over $1.50 this morning, I'll take a shot at it. But it did just break out. Meta's at this 304. So here's your wick bottom, liquidity grab underneath the low of the day when we had the number with no change, I suppose. You got 10 minutes. There we go. We just broke 304, so the local high is gone. Meta was super strong this morning. I want to see us try to get to VWAP in here. Ideally, want to be out of a breakout style play before Powell takes the podium. Give it about 50 cents, see if it wants to come back in. I'm mostly net short, and I feel like I want to stay that way in the names that I have. But I'm looking for some relative strength somewhere else. So if you can resolve this into VWAP, fair enough. But I don't want to give anything too much room. I said scalp trading, for anyone that doesn't know what that means, like scalp trading just means you're not looking to take the day's move. You're looking to make like a local move inside of a range, and it's not going to last as long. That's what I want to do until we get to 230. Worry about the trend after 230 when Powell takes the podium. So I'm looking for quick little breakouts, risk 50 to try to make a buck, that kind of thing in there. So we got the Clivio. I don't think that, I'm kind of hoping that just continues its trend to the downside. I really don't think it should necessarily follow the market. I picked that over Instacart because of how weak it is and the volume kind of tapering off. I love the fact that Intel, when the market just bounced, Intel did not even budge. Like it just still chilling out at the lows. That's a super weak name from yesterday. I think that can continue its trend to the downside. And ARM, that's what it is. Like tight risk in there, but it's just going upside. I don't think it makes a ton of sense. If the market's going to flush, it's weird to me that ARM wants to break out when its valuation is more than NVIDIA's, but fair enough. A good point in the chat that its market cap is smaller than Intel and it might have better growth perspectives. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but at 100 PE, you want to buy it on Fed Day if the market goes down? Good luck to that. I wouldn't be touching ARM at these prices for a long-term investment, but that's just me. I think it's a bit overvalued, and it's risky to do it, especially if you're going to wait till Fed Day on ARM, why wouldn't you wait till November? And take your time. Buying IPOs right away has never been good.
Oh, not a good idea there. All right, so someone in the chat, I forget who it was there, just said, oh, there it is. What's up to David Schnitzer right here? What's up, my guy?
I like
right here, Sean, your Apple profits are vanishing. I mean, they're still here. We just took another fill, though, right now, because I agree, it's not really doing anything. Apple profits, I mean, it's just a nice move up. This was not a very big position. I mean, I was really hoping that we get a flush into the 60s, like we said, and then we put something on against that bottom. But yeah, just noted that the market was sort of holding out right here. And if the market was holding out, then, we know that Apple can follow that lead. So we took it out. Now we only have 20% left. Or no, sorry, 40% left of our trade right now on Apple as we look for everything else. Nothing else. Like, look, what am I supposed to do with this? I mean, right now, Tesla's not doing anything. And I feel like it's foolish right now to put on a new position in anything that I'm currently in. I mean, if it either floats up or floats down, that's fine. We already have right now a $2 winner on Tesla, just letting to see if it wants to come back in. We did make a mistake not getting out right there. Well, we didn't have it. I was trying to get out. I was at 269.20. We talked about that. The lowest it went was 269.50. So we just missed our out by like 30 cents. Now we got to pay the piper as it goes all the way back up to the upside. But thank you so much for watching. I mean, we are day trading, so we have to be flat at the end of every single day. So regardless of what we think is going to happen tomorrow or anything like that, we have to be flat at the end of today. What's say Disney right now? $83. Nice move to the downside right here. Oh, no, not really. I thought Disney was at 84 today, but maybe it was not, or maybe it was earlier on. No, not really.
No,
it was 83. It was 84 was yesterday. So, yeah, no 84s today. 83, sorry, is the level of concern there for Disney. So that could be a good short as well. But, like, Neil and I have been here too much. Like, we've seen this happen where the market just kind of goes to sleep right now, and then it starts to get going once the Fed throws through. So right now, not much happening. It is a nice move up. So There's the Apple profits right now.
Awesome.
So here we go, Apple, with a nice move to the upside. There it is right now. Okay, so this is what we waiting for, baby. If we can get a move upside, get us out at 30. Oh, I'm at 36. Why am I at 36? Nobody knows, not even myself. Go, one more fill. Oh, went
What's
to 35.
wrong with 36?
One more. I don't know. Because I pushed offer enter, and it was at 36 at that time, and now it stops, right? So let's go get to the upside right now for Apple. There it is, man. It's a 50-cent winner. So if you're sort of rolling with that, you get that nice move right now. I don't know where it's going to go from here. So there it is. We got an out there at 56. So that's so far so good on that one. And then, of course, Tesla going to the upside. Amazon stopped out, fine. AMD stopped out, fine. A good stop out on AMD is that one another 20 cents against us right there. And we'll wait to see about Tesla because 274 is a decent level. I do want to take some more shares if it does get back up to there. But remember, our stop out for half of what we have left is right here at 272. As long as that order fires off, then we should be able to get stopped out a half. And then we'll wait. And then we'll wait for Fed and then for Jerome.
Mr. Powell.
Yeah, he's coming right now. So you got 4 minutes to go until he drops some bombs. And the thing about it is, there's going to be a prepared speech. Then there it is. Then there's going to be Q&A as well, and then we'll go from there. But out of half more right there on Tesla as my net is just
put on that Bobby Womack. You guys don't know that jam. We got VWAP on Meta here. I have to be somewhat concerned. Intel's still at the lows, but it's trying to rally, so I might take a leg off. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that because that starts to get back to the upside. Want to start covering some of that short. We got the VWAP move on Meta. I'll hang on to a piece just to see what will happen. Remember, at 230, you get a reversal. Like, I want to trail this so I don't, like, quadrunk myself into this turning into a loser. Probably throw it back at that 304. If it gives up the entire move, I'm fine with that. So we'll trail it underneath 304 there. I'm looking back at this. I mean, hindsight's going to be 20/20, but just because you like a stock at a certain level and it worked earlier, like the more I look at this, like that's higher lows all the way through. Like it doesn't matter, even if it's a small hit, it's an idiotic hit really when you think about it because ARM, it's not logical why it was going up, and if something isn't making sense, then just don't trade it. I think that could have been an easy thing. Like KYVO, why I don't mind being in this is A, new IPO might have a chance of resisting what's going on with the market. Oh no, I've done it wrong, it's KVYO. I'm the one that keeps saying it's KVYO. Yeah. Whatever. This is going sideways, so I just looking for it to continue trend here to the downside. So I don't mind sitting in that, risking 50, 70 cents to see if it can't get down to the low of the day, which is a buck lower. But this market is headed to the upside. Meta's going good. CGC, which we're still short at 97, not really doing much. I think we're okay with that one. If I look over, and remember I said I was watching what's going on in TLT, I mean, it rejected the flat bottom break. Now we're at resistance. So this is not a place where I would think, like I wouldn't want to put longs on up here at resistance. Like if you bought something on the way back up, fair enough. But if you don't break this top and we just go right back and play inside of the range, well, then the futures does exactly the same thing, right? Like you might have the NASDAQ come back in here, sort of reject where we broke down from at 15.35 and then pull back in. So I'm not chasing any moves to the long. You had to try to grab along as we were getting to these levels. That's why I like Meta because it was a nice clean break from 304 with 305 in its sights. Naresh asking for my take on Oracle. I don't want to, like, I almost just said go long Oracle, but it's not that simple. Yeah, Oracle. I know Oracle was having a good day. That's why I almost said that right away. Back through VWAP. Look at that. I mean, it's holding the opening range break from the morning. I'll point to here. There's 10 o'clock. We're close to 10 o'clock. You held 113 nicely. It's a strong one, an upward trend. If things were somehow going to get ham and we go upside in the market, just have a look at 115 on Oracle on the daily. That's not a bad look. We'd have to go green, and Powell would have to say something that really pumps us to want this 115 to go. But I like what Oracle has been doing, like kind of bouncing and trying to get back into that 50 period. 115 looks pretty solid. Just be patient. We got 1 minute, less than 1 minute until Big Papa Powell hits the podium. Maybe he pumps the market. I have no idea. We'll see what he says. You got to listen to it, see what the questions come through as. Ooh, I just got some Rivian short. That's back to resistance. Brendo.
All right, just awaiting the start of this. He's not at the podium yet, but just so everyone's aware, as you guys were saying, statement first. So that statement I showed you with the red lines and scribbles all over it, he'll read that, and then we get into the Q&A, which should be more exciting, guys.
Yes, sir. And I did get back into Rivian. So on the Tesla Neuralink bump, Rivian went to here, $23.18. Just come to my chart for a quick second. Yeah, there we go. Rivian got to this level on the Neuralink pump. So I just kind of said, well, Neuralink, what the heck does that have to do with Rivian? Why would it break its consolidation? So just short it above VWAP? Well, it's back above VWAP again. So I had orders to get out when the number came out, so I was fortunate enough to get the bottoms. But if it breaks out from here, just get the heck out of it. I'm playing inside of this range until proven otherwise. So my stop is less than 10 cents up from here on Rivian. And if we get back underneath VWAP, start taking some profit out. As I said, I didn't really think that this was going to press as much as Tesla did. There we go. He's at the podium now. No scowl. He looks somewhat happy. No, he's not doing that.
I mean, I think you should be happy, relatively.
Like, if the whole world listens to you when you talk, you should be happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like everything sort of happened as expected for him there. I mean, we knew that was going to be zero. He doesn't really have to justify anything. So now we just wait for the Q&A, right? So when that comes through, that will come through, and Brendo will give us some more Q&A love on that one right there. So, all right, man, nice move down. There's the move down. We did get stopped out of Tesla. We did talk about that, unfortunately, at 272, but we consider ourselves a risk manager. So there goes Tesla to the downside right now, punching us in the face a little bit, 50 cents, but whatever. We're still in the money, $1.50 on this. But we did get out, again, oh my God, another practice for my daughter. Oh my God. So much stuff coming through practice.
We talking about practice? Not a game.
Yeah, practice has made a lot of difference for her, that's for sure.
I'm joking.
No, of course, we're talking about AI. We love AI. Okay, so here we go.
Whoa.
Here's the blast up. We just got some short AMD right there on a blast up. It's going to get stopped out at 50, so here we go, man. So I don't know, Powell just opened that mouth, and then there you go. It's a nice move back up to the upside.
Rivian,
out a lot of stocks right here, as a lot of them are flying through right now. There goes Apple flying to the upside. Wow. Big move up there for Apple. We did take an L there because AMD did go up, but that was a pretty small one. What else is flying through here? Tesla back up to 272 and change. This one's starting to go. Here comes Powell, baby. He's back in the building one more time. Oh, what? Okay, yeah, I was wondering, like, what happened there? We were short NVIDIA there for a minute. And then we got stopped out right away at 433, and now it's pulling back in. So that was a quick stop out there on NVDA. What's up, Brendan?
It seemed to be on a comment, guy, saying they're in a position to proceed carefully, whatever that means.
Yeah, you're right, whatever that
Proceed carefully. I'll show you guys what just happened. Wild action. Apple came right into the resistance level at 2 o'clock where we were, 177.80. I got short at 70, got some out right there at 50. If it takes out the high, I don't want to fight trends after 230. So to me, like, you take the one shot there, and if it breaks the top, then we're in a breakout phase. Can't turn into a loser, but sometimes it'd be like that. Remember I told you I was tightening on my stop? We got the dollar, 50 cents, then $1 on Meta. Tighten up the stop, get wicked out when he hits the podium, and Meta's back to the upside. So you play a little bit conservative there. The long ended up working, but it could have still been in this. Now I like this 304 a bit more. We dip back down in here. Let's go for it. The NASDAQ's going green, so if the trend wants to be up, Meta was the one I liked. I'm going to continue to like it there. Watch out for that Oracle. I think Oracle's a pretty strong name. You can probably look at that one as well. Let's go dip buy hunting if the trend's going to be to the upside.
I think that's a good move right now, as we will wait to see what is happening. We did get back into NVIDIA right here, right now. We're going to take it against 434. So one more fill. Now we're short on NVIDIA as it's trying to blast through 434 right now. It looks like it's going to do that. I just thought maybe some negativity comes through. We know we could be short NVIDIA. It's red on, here it goes. It's red on the day, so that was the logic behind this trade. Now, whether or not it works out or not, I don't, here we go. The spread on this alone is scary enough when it starts to open up. So here you go. We're short at, where are we short? 433.17 right now. So we'll put something a little bit. Oops. Oh, we were sitting there from before. Okay. So not a bad fill there. We'll see if we can get something else out if it does continue to move down. So right now we are short. There it is. Okay. So here comes a move down for NVIDIA. So we'll take a short. On this play. And there it is right now, $1 or so in the money. Let's see if we can get a little bit lower. Right now, quick little Dollar Club member right there. But it still needs to go lower for us. Hit that 25. That's me. Ooh, that was me sitting there at 25. There we go. That should not matter today. And there it is, man. We are back in the club right now with a quick little dollar. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe because we're trading like maniacs right now. Quick little pullback there for NVDA.
Yeah, I love what just happened on that wick. At least for Apple, it just wicked the same high that we had before. I'm looking for the 177 fill. Again, first move on Powell was to the upside, so I don't want to sit there thinking go against the grain. Like usually the way I like to play it is we're going inside the range, and whatever the first move is after 230, I want to respect it. So I'm going to take the profit out in front of 177. We're going to go right back to Brennan to get an update from Powell. Bought the dip where we had it before on Meta. So going to get out of Apple for profit and then try to get this long back into the range here. Play the range until it breaks. Brendo.
He's talking about the labor market still being tighter than they like, and the housing market still tighter than they like as well. On Apple, by the way, I've never seen this before. He usually doesn't have anything in view on the podium, but this FOMC conference brought to you by Apple apparently today.
I missed it.
Man, we got out of Apple too. We should have bought some back in right there right now. But here it is, man. We are now $1, still $1 in the money here on our NVIDIA trade. We're out of half of it. So right now, this one can't really get too bad for us. Nice move all the way to the downside. We took some out at the, we took some out at the 50 period as right now. You could see what I'm talking about, man. Pretty violent action right now on the market as it just goes back and forth. And look where we landed. You see what I mean? Here's 2 p.m., right? Big time move to the downside. Powell, in anticipation of him coming back, makes the move up. He comes back, we touch these highs. Now you're gonna try to see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna throw out now VWAP, all that. It doesn't matter. The market's just gonna trade the way the market trades. So good luck. We're short NVIDIA right now against this high of 434. We'll see if it can come through. Right now it's 75 cents in the money on that one. We got out of our Apple, and it's too bad that we got stopped out of AMD because it wicked all the way down as well to 102 and change. But a quick little stop on AMD here. We know AMD is strong, so I feel like shorting NVIDIA is a little bit of a better play. NVIDIA down on the day, so if we're going to be right about a market push lower here, then I think we're on the right name here with NVDA.
Yeah, I mean, the market tried to get back up. I actually got out of Apple when he said that on the short. It was for a winning trade, but I did get into that 304 again on Meta. So we dipped down in. It was a good trade into VWAP the first time, but like right as I got wicked out, just under break even, it got right through VWAP. So I took the fill again in front of 304, got 305. Give it a little bit more room now that it's working on that long side. I am still short, and I'm not really taking it out on Intel. I got one little wick here, and I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I trailed half of it right back into resistance level, previous resistance level. I'm still holding on to a piece for that low of the day. It's going to happen. I wanted to play a little bit of defense in case the move was to the upside, but Intel looks like it's still trend down. I'm just holding the short from VWAP, and I want the reentry off VWAP, being pretty particular with that. So Meta starting to go to the upside. The market seems to want to try to go green, but every time we get there, it's like we didn't come all this way. Every time we wick to like 0.01 or 2 on the NASDAQ, you get right into that resistance and we haven't punched through. Once you punch through here, if we take out 15.4, I think it's kind of all arrows up. 4,500 probably gets taken out on the ES if that were the case. Trying to break through the high on TLT right now. So you're getting a bit of a battle at some key price levels in both the futures and on treasuries here. If we punch through, I wouldn't want to fight that trend, but I still want to hold on to my Intel short. CGC is seemingly not carrying. This is always a good sign. Like it's still holding underneath VWAP. I like that. I think we can get back into that 90-cent level. That was an earlier trade. The dollar break on CGC when it came downside. That's the reason for that short. I think that's kind of obvious as well. Hertz Scrambler. That have to do with Jalen Hurts? I have no idea. You let me know. You're a Philly fan. Saying DE. John Deere. Back above VWAP, holding 405. They were having a great day today and bouncing off. Look at it, bounce off that 400 level. I don't know if this is a day trade stock for me, but that's a great wick bottom. I don't know if it can break out today. Good, strong looking stock. I mean, congratulations if you got it. I think you got a good one. But I look at the spread and the lack of volume on this, and it's not much of a trading stock. But you like those liquidity grabs underneath the trap shorts if you're looking for the long, and that's what it looks like it did here on Deere. A lot of people might have thought it was rolling over after this bull flag. We take out the top, some people might be screwed.
Yeah, we're $1.30 now in the money on Tesla, or on, sorry, not on Tesla, on NVIDIA, but we are looking at Tesla because I thought I had a 273.50 offer and I did not, so that's my bad. I was gonna try to go short on this more against that 274, but again, Tesla's a pretty strong name here. We'll still try it just in case because we do have that top right now, but other than that, man, we just gotta, I was just watching NVIDIA. It keeps on bouncing off this 432 like over and over and over again. Our best out is 431.75. I'm actually waiting down here at 431 to get another fill, and then maybe we can get a 430 break on NVDA. I mean, there still is some downside pressure to come, hopefully, on NVIDIA. I mean, we've been down here before. Why can't we go back? Back to your home, NVIDIA. Get back to your home.
Get in the hole.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll wait on that one. We do have a bid at 431. Let me see exactly where it is. It's 431.05. You know what? Let's not do that, because then if it like wicks down into the 20s and I don't get a fill, I'm gonna. Okay, 431.20s. Okay, so there we go. So there it is. Yes, sir. Here we go now. Almost $2 now in the money. Let's go. Bring the pain downside now, NVIDIA. Hopefully it can just continue to work. And I think on a big Fed day like this, you know, I think it's worth waiting to see if you can get sort of an outsized move, right? I mean, normally right now you're bouncing off the 50-period moving average rate. Now, hey, what's up, Jerome? How's it going, my guy? Right there, but it's a nice move back in. You know what? Okay, here we go. Just bring the damn pain right now. Let's go, man. Spin it. There it is. It's a nice one right now as the money just starts coming in a little bit for the short now on NVDA. So there it is right now. There's a $2 winner for you right here. So far, so good, man. Apple was a great one. We got out of that. That was a nice trade. So far, we've put on 2 trades, man. AMD, which we got in and out of for like 15 cents. Probably shouldn't have put anything there. Here we go. It's a huge move down. So give us the news, Bren.
He's just reiterating the stance, guys, that there most likely will be at least one more, which was back in the statement, one more quarter-point hike before the end of this year. And they've definitely not, in his opinion, reached the ultimate peak for interest rates.
Which I think if you probably can pull up that February decision, it's going to be moving as he talks. I guess you get a couple of percentage points on that. Also, TLT rolled through that high, so it's pulling back into the downside. Going to have my tight stops, going to do it. If we take the dollar on Meta, I want to lose less than 20, 30 cents on it. It keeps on giving you the same range in here until it holds underneath 303.5, maybe 303, or above, maybe breaking out 306. It's just giving you back and forth here. So I'm not going to try and fight it when it breaks through. You take your profit when it gives you the dollar, and then take your hit if it's going to go back underneath. Oh, wow. CGC is even tanking to the downside, it looks like. Yes, sir. That's, a rising tide lifts all ships, but the reverse apparently. I don't have a reverse for that, by the way. I don't know if there's another way to say that. Like, what do you say for when things are going down and dragging everything down? I don't know. But we're back into 90. I'm pointing this out because there's been a buyer at 90 cents on this. If it flat bottom breaks, I think we see 85. I've got bids from this morning just in case we get there. Yeah, 90 would be a flat bottom break by definition on CGC. But I was kind of referring to the fact that the market goes down and CGC goes down despite the fact that it doesn't really matter. It trades on its own whims. So the short is looking pretty solid. By the way, ARM, I don't know what to make of this stock. I'm glad we sat this one out after that move to the upside, because I'm like, it didn't make any sense. But then the second I decide it's not making sense, it makes all the sense in the world. Thank you very much, ARM. That short level has been gold in front of 54 even. Something to file into tomorrow. And if we see something outsized or crazy, do not forget, $51 on ARM is the IPO issue price. I expect there to be a bid there if we see it today. And $30 on CART is the IPO issue price. So both of those, if either one gets to that level, I'm expecting a bid. I do like the scalp long. It's not to say that it has to go up from there, but if you can find a few million shares on the bid as a day trader, just get right in front of it, I would take that shot on either one of those two.
So the question remains here, are we becoming too greedy now with NVIDIA? Because it's $2 in the money, and once again, there is a bottom here that's not breaking, and that is this 430.50. We've got a lot of these licensed subscribers going on with this afternoon, almost like there's like a glitch. But there it is right now. Hit the like.
Fabian likes it.
Someone said that Powell has 30,000 viewers watching and we have 6. So that's not bad.
I'll take it.
Not bad. We'll take it right now. But make sure you do hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you join me right after this because traders stay late. And we're going to do a nice little recap show for everybody right after this. Talk about the Fed. We'll have Chris Brecher coming through as well. So stay tuned, man. We'll talk about all the different sectors. We'll talk about Fed speak. We'll talk everything. everything, man. And we'll shout out those of you that are here with me as well. So, okay, that's the play. It's too bad that we missed on that Tesla bid or offer there because I thought we had it. Should have been a little more diligent on where my orders were. We don't. But Tesla's actually holding out okay right now. Despite the market just being under VWAP, obviously we're nowhere near that. There was a Neuralink and there was a whole bunch of talk there for Tesla. So maybe Tesla does have wings under it, but hey, this is the thing. We're willing to risk 50 cents on this. So if we can get, like, that was the play there and that was the out. So, like, if we have that, so far so good. Nice trades down to the downside there for Tesla. We've already had 269 and stared that in the face and didn't take it. So that's kind of where we are right now with that one. We still need this to break lower. Let's check out on Amazon one more time here because we had that short as well earlier, and that's just kind of wicked around that. You know what? See, sometimes no matter what's happening on the day, you could still, unfortunately, we have that big wick there. I'll try to get rid of it, but it just goes right back almost to VWAP. So you could have used 138 or so as your stop on a nice little rip up to 137.60. But again, you know, to use VWAP and moving averages right now when we're very news dependent can be very dangerous. I feel like what you're going to want to do is trade with the trend. And that's why when I look at what's happening right now, there isn't really much. I would say the trend is down just because we're below VWAP on the market. And we are starting to, I mean, this is just a 1 minute chart. So it's going to be tough to like pick a trend right here. But if you take that as the top and that as the bottom right now in the last 15 minutes, we're pushing the bottom. So I would say it looks like the short's trying to get through. That's why we have the 50-period moving average, because we try to use that as a little bit of a quicker trend indicator. So we'd like to break that, then we could start to move a little bit down, right? Like this is 2 o'clock, so the indicator didn't mean much here all afternoon. So hopefully we can make a move down, and maybe we should just start to cover, because here's NVIDIA right now, again, just broke through 431 and held one more time. So I'm getting a little nervous about this. I'm gonna change my order and put it near 430.50 in case we do get a swoop down, because honestly, I'm getting a little nervous about why this isn't happening. Like it's 245 now.
And we still
the move should happen, I
we
think.
haven't broken the range yet. I feel as if that's not necessarily normal, but you know, we weren't expecting anything too crazy today, but I still would have thought we'd get out of the range. Like underneath, you're still 15.4 to 15.3 on the NASDAQ futures, and I said on the ES, you're talking 4,500, 44.80. So 20 points on the ES is not a heck of a lot. I am keeping tabs on one small cap name that is not CGC. AMC's still above 8. I know you guys know I had that long. Like I had the long this morning. I had it a little bit later. It broke VWAP, but then 2 o'clock, I put a tight stop in there and kind of stalled out for 5 cents on this name. But it is still basing out, and it is holding higher lows. Like on the 15-minute, it's looking pretty good, holding on to that 825. So if we can hold that bottom and break out, it would be a small cap potential runner. I say potential because you know, the focus right now is going to be the overall market. Just want to put that one in the back pocket. I'm going to go right back to the well on Apple here at not just VWAP, it doesn't really matter, but the levels I usually like are what levels do you make when the number comes out or when Powell hits a podium, and the top was 177.80. Already worked once. Let's see if I can work it again. Looks like we are resolving to the downside. So I don't, like I'm not in any long positions. It's the question, do I want to add any shorts at this point? Apple off VWAP, which happens to be that local high, makes some sense to me in here. I do not want to chase it too far. Maybe the next consolidation down. Intel could break 35, and that would be interesting as well. 35 break to the downside. Do I want it? Now we're starting to flush.
Good.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to be long Intel. I just realized I made that cover, and that's an accidental long. I'll take the 2 cents out. I had more shares on the bid than I had short at the low of the day, so I got out. I did not want to be long Intel, so I just immediately punched out. Thankfully, it bounced off that order. I'm thinking about where to join this again. Flat bottom break at 35 is risky because then you're shorting at the low of the day. But it's Intel, and it's been a dog, and it's down 3%. We're able to get a VWAP all the way to here. I can see a reason why it would fall further.
All right, so we get our fill there, obviously, on NVIDIA, but we took a 431. It just went down and broke 430 on NVIDIA. So watch out there as NVIDIA making moves back down into the downside right now. So hopefully it can continue. I don't want to get any more out, man. We've already, honestly, NVIDIA is a big stock. NVIDIA is the #1. So right now, just between us, the big names for today profit-wise. #1 trade profit-wise is going to be NVIDIA. #2 is going to be Tesla. #3 is going to be Microsoft. #4 is going to be CGC. So far, so good right here. Let's see if we can continue to make this move down. And the two worst stocks for me today and for the show, Apple and AMD. So just a quick little review there on some of what's been happening. That's too bad about it. I just traded AMD way too much today, as you can see. It's too bad because we were just short there at 40s. Now it's making the move back in. So that's a good trade right there. Look, guys, Tesla right now, $2 in the money. Okay, NVIDIA, $3 and trying to go lower. So far, so good. Is there any names that we're maybe not talking about that you guys want us to look at? The TQs, again, is the market itself. Because I'm already short these big guys here, like we're short Tesla and NVIDIA, I can't, honestly, like that's, for me, that's pretty decent and pretty good numbers right there. So let's just continue to watch out what's happening. There goes the TQs, looking to break the bottom. What about if we break that bottom? I mean, like I said, right now we're $4 in the money on NVIDIA. That is absolutely cranking lower. But what about breaking the bottom on the TQs? 38.75, not a bad level there. Where are we here? Okay, so did I just get filled on something? Right there, no, not. Yeah, so we still have a little ways to go. I was looking at maybe a bigger time frame here, but still, there's really no levels right now. So hopefully we can continue just to watch it. And there it goes, man, real see real, and that's a good one because
oh my God.
Bye-bye NVIDIA. It's just too bad that not too bad anything. We have a good amount of shares on right now. As this continues to drop down, $4 in the money right now for NVIDIA and $3 right now in the money for Tesla. So, hey, I hope you're glad that you're watching the show right now. These are the bangers that everyone wants. What's up, Brendo?
All right, he was just asked straight up if he thinks that a soft landing is now the quote-unquote baseline expectation, to which he said no. So that was a bit of a flush to the downside in the overall market. He was also talking about neutral rates, which was kind of interesting in the sense that he believes the neutral interest rate, which is the Fed funds rate number at which there's no influence one way or the other whatsoever, has actually now gone up, which is to be expected. But to hear it from Mr. Powell, also a little bit negative for the market, guys.
Started from the top, now we're here.
Yes,
at the
sir.
bottom. It's the other way around. Drizzy moving to Houston. What's going on with that?
Well, he's buying a house.
No, I know he's buying a house.
Yeah.
But anyways, look, we sat in Clavio. I said this is a stock that I didn't have a reason to be anything but short it. I had one quick scalp trade long, fair enough. But it just sat sideways. When the market was trying to go up, it was not going up, and the trend is to the downside, so we get it. It just touched the low. I respect the bottom. I respect 34 in here, so we took some out 34 for the $0.50. We get about $1.10 on the rest. Now, I want to hold on to it. If this takes out the low, I don't know where the bottom might be, but like the other two IPOs this week, the issue price matters. I don't think you see 30 today, but if you do, you get out in front of 30. Underwriters don't like to get embarrassed. That's why I keep saying in the first week, they will try to defend the IPO issue price. If any three of these see that IPO issue price, I think you want to respect it. But the market is, I want to hit my favorite one, that's this. You know, you don't, as a trader, you don't have to predict where the market's going to go. Just try to short good levels. Try to look for relative strength and relative weakness. Sometimes the best trade you make is knowing when to get out of it. Like multiple times, we're able to get 34 to 35, 34 to 35. Each time I'm stopping out. Give it a little more room the second time. But how can you be long off the top and manage to still stay up on the stock? It's just having out. Like it resolved the trend to the downside when it couldn't hold 304. So I just get the heck out of Dodge. Look for something else. It is almost 3 o'clock. Now, typically, you get to the 3 o'clock spot, you start thinking about when he's going to leave the podium. Now, if the move is trend down and he leaves the podium, sometimes you get a bit of a rip, which can give you a shorting opportunity. So you take a little bit of profit there. I love it. He's still on the podium, still answering questions. If we get a bit of a pop, I think you can try to short the pops based on that trend. And when he leaves, if there's a pop, I think you try to short off only good levels. You just don't short anywhere. I mean, like 305 Meta, Apple in front of 178 or 177.80 makes some sense to me. Intel pretty much anywhere. I'm joking. Intel 33.30, 33, yeah, 33.30, 35.30, 35.50 maybe. Not really looking at ARM. NVIDIA probably 4.33, something along those lines. Like you're looking for the key price levels. Clavio in the mid 34 range to be sure as well. CGC is about to crack, Michael. We both hope so. Oh, yeah, it is at that. Hey, the 90 level's gone. Yeah, but you know what? There was buying at 90 all day long.
I just took some.
I was talking up this 90 level. There was size there before. Now there isn't. But there was buying at this price. That's what I kept saying. It was a quadruple bottom or a triple bottom. That gets chewed through. Like that's what 60,000 shares into 770 million on the day. They'll have no trouble getting through that. But I did take a fill in front. I have 30% of this left, and I got bids in the 80s. So bye-bye to the downside for this one. I'm going to hit the arrows down for you. I don't have the weed key. I don't have any of
we
them.
still got to find that.
You have
Fabian. Next job is to get some sort of a weed.
No, but
something.
you have a weed.
Yeah, I have this one,
You have
but I mean,
that.
we got to have something like this. Just takes up the whole screen. I mean, I like that one.
Can't trade these
But
stocks.
we can just do weed Batman again if we can get it. We can do that, like that.
I'm like, if you guys watch Half Baked, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, or Batman. That's where it's from. The Batman.
No, but Half Baked
They
copied
do that
it
as well.
Oh.
Okay. I only thought about it from Batman because this is from
Great
Batman.
movie, by the way. Yeah.
Bang, right? Bang, pow, oomph. The old Batman. Shout out to Adam West
going
and
on?
the crew right
passed
there.
away, dude.
Okay, yeah, Mark. Yeah, okay. Recap show. I'm there. You're there. Everyone's there. So join me on the recap show tonight. We are going to have. Just got a message from Natalie Brunell. Those of you that have liked her on our show, she will be on the recap show next week. We have Chris Brecher coming on today. We have Brian Shannon committed to be a weekly guest as well on that show. Michael Noss is a weekly guest. Daniel Shea is a weekly guest. We have so many weekly guests. We're running out of days right now. So that's a good problem to have. We will schedule that. And we're doing all this, man. So make sure that you come back and throw down. You guys saw yesterday, I didn't have the settings right, and Brendan had to fix it. So we're trying to work extra hard for everybody. So make sure you do hit the like and subscribe as traders stay late. And we're going to be staying late with you guys one more time here today. So again, out of NVIDIA. Hello? Hung up again. Damn it, man. This guy. Thing is that he knows we're live on the air. So he doesn't want
It's a great time to call.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have he should know that. I don't know.
He knows what's up.
Yeah, I'll talk to him about that after. Damn you, Jerome. But so far, so good here as we just joking around with everything. It's been a great day, guys. I mean, I hope that everyone's been watching this show and enjoying themselves and just seeing the way that we trade, the style that we trade, the money that we pull or don't pull, and some of the decisions that we make. Like right there, we noticed that NVIDIA was not breaking through 430. So when it came back down, we took that, right? There were lower lows for sure. Like we could have got a 429.50 fill, but we didn't get it. So unfortunately, we got a little bit greedy. But hey, if I keep taking outs all the way, which I do, then eventually you don't have any shares left, right? And then I get mad because I don't have enough shares left to get out at the end. So right now we're out of NVIDIA. We have a small piece left of this one. And then our Tesla, this one we still have 20%, but we only have 10% of NVIDIA. But Tesla, I'm just waiting for a push lower. That's all. It's up a lot. If the market does fall, we know NVIDIA falls, and I think NVIDIA takes VWAP. And when it takes VWAP, then I do think the landing place is somewhere around here, 267 and change. So we could put $5-6 there if it works. And I think that you need some if and buts, and if and buts.
If and buts are candy and nuts.
Right there. So I'll take some candy and some nuts.
It's a weird saying, but
Peanuts, and that should be fun. What my favorite nut is cashew.
Yeah, cashews.
But I do like chocolate-covered almonds.
I mean, to me, that's a treat. Chocolate. I love chocolate-covered almonds.
Right. That's
Pistachios.
like a Christmas,
I love pistachios.
everyone's. pistachios.
Pistachios
My
are
God.
delicious. But cashews are great too. My daughter, she absolutely loves cashews. She eats.
Oh man, yeah, I don't even. My kids are.
We never mean to ignore. Like you watch the show every single day. A lot of times in the afternoon, if the market's tanking, I'm looking for low float runners. Like I'm looking for maybe AMC's breaking out for some long plays. So today on a Fed day, I know we're not really talking about those, but fair enough. AVGR, Avenger, it's kind of picking itself up a little bit here. It had that move in the afternoon yesterday. Bit of a double top forming through 13. Here's your trouble. Look, you guys can see the volume down here. Like, look at the volume spike when it broke out. Look at the volume at the open. The volume's not with it. It's hard for you to make a run through a big resistance level, break out, and continue if you don't have volume behind it. Now, obviously, look, it's just another one of those reverse split breakouts, and it's got to a very big high, right? Like it's going to, you're not punching through something like this without big volume. You've already done absolute utter nonsense on AVGR in the last couple of days. So to make it go even further, some real buyers are gonna have to step up. And there's some clowns sitting on the offer doing some things here. This is what I mean. And I'm not, okay, I shouldn't say clown. Maybe somebody actually wants these shares. I don't know.
Oh, you mean that clown?
Maybe they want these shares. They may be getting out of a
Not
long.
maybe, they're taking them.
Look, here's the thing. A hedge fund can just sit in this short knowing they're going to win, right? So somebody can legitimately be saying, I want that. Give me all of that smoke at 12.93 or 12.39 because this stock, which is up here and looking strong, can get right back into $4. It's just a reverse split that should go down and had some positive news, and now it's headed back into the upside. And they can sit in that for weeks and months because they have unlimited risk. A day trader can't risk taking that kind of a fill. So that could be real, but it ain't breaking 13 until it gets through that dude, or whomever it might be. I'm assuming it's one. It's very likely one person trying to get a big fill and spreading that order. So yeah, nothing doing unless it can even get through that, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, just trying to read some notes here. I don't really see anything happening right now. Fed, Powell says there's so much uncertainty. Yeah, okay, well, whatever. I mean, we'll just, what am I looking at, CGC? Oh, yeah, because we just put another bid and got filled. So I was just like, oh, maybe it doesn't break 90. We put a bid, it just filled us right there at like 90.0002.
Iceberg there.
Yeah, I mean, if it breaks, look, I'm bidding 86.50 right now. So if it comes down, I expected 90 to break, and then honestly, it was just kind of a random price. We did talk about CGC probably getting some more shares if and when it does come back into somewhere around here. That could be tomorrow. Today they announced. Let me just check for you guys, because before I say it, I don't want to say, because I know there's a lot of people that are in CGC right now, but there it is, 45.9 million shares of common stock right there. So that's $45.9 million basically. I mean, it's $1 per share. So 46 million shares follows for offering. So that's going to have to hit the market at some point, and that's what's hitting the market today to the downside. So I don't know if it's an at-the-money offering or what, but that's what caused this move to the downside. And we looked at Canopy today, and it was kind of just by fluke, because we saw this move. We got triggered into because again, like, this says crossing VWAP right here. This is from Trade Ideas. So, there's a scanner that has that. And then, so that's basically what happened up here. When we crossed back below, we just looked at it. And I actually didn't look at it till it was at 105. And at that point, we were like, oh, okay, what happens if it breaks $1? Then all of a sudden it broke $1, and then we saw the news on the offering, right? And so that kind of took us for a loop, so we didn't get exactly the best price, because I would have loved to get even anything there. But there it comes, and then there's the move down. So well supported here at 90 cents, long story short.
Yeah, exactly. And I do feel as if, I don't think this is a one-day trade on CGC. I think if it's hanging out in the 90s and mid-90s, I think you play off the dollar level for as many times as you can. Just for some house cleaning here, the market is bouncing a tiny little bit. Were to continue further, I do not want to turn, like Clavio went from 35 into 33.5. Doesn't seem like it wants to break that low of the day, so some buying come into it. Now, I don't think it's going to do an ARM. Like ARM at this time on its IPO day looked like it was trend to the downside, and when it broke that trend, it was just the most explosive long ever, catching everybody off guard. I don't think that happens with KVYO, but I don't want to have a winner turn to loser just in case it were. So I'm going to tighten up, see if it breaks this consolidation, gets above like 34.30, I'll just get out of it. It'll still be good, but I don't want to get trapped. This bouncing off a double bottom and then breaking out on me. These are never the most liquid of names at times, so you want to respect it. Speaking of ARM, it's still holding on to the bid around this 53 area. So it's holding the range on ARM. No breakdown. That's technically higher lows on ARM. Right? Like, it made the flush this morning. If you missed the flush, your only chance to get in was at VWAP. We like VWAP around here. It's not that bad. And look how good it was. Just take the fills, the overfills VWAP, giving it to like 53.5 to 54, and then it's been working. But higher lows on ARM. Maybe this is trying to make a bottom, and it doesn't want to see that IPO issue price. We haven't been looking long outside of the opening print. At least I haven't been. That could change. If it wants to hold 51, that could be a support level. It's been trend down. At some point, it's going to catch a bid. Why not starting right now if it holds a higher low on Fed day when the market's tanking, of all things?
All right, so yeah, I mean, this market is tanking, and right now we are getting hopefully a lower bid here on Tesla, trying to break through 270. So if you come over here, if you are a scalper like we are right now, I mean, this is banging its head on the 200 period. I'm just still pissed off that we don't have that short. I thought I had an offer there, did not. Looked back and didn't. So I do have a stop to get out at 274, which is why I thought I had the offer. But here we go. We're going to break 270 and then downside from there, man. And here comes right back into the money right now is NVIDIA as that's pushing lower. I'm staying short. I'm not going long. I'm not flipping long. So if you guys are looking for a long, it's not going to be with this guy right now unless... I should never say never because we don't know, but I'm still looking to see about this break right there. So I still think we can get lower. That's 50 more handles. And then this is the caveat right now, because if we go 100 handles lower down to 15,200, I mean, then you'll see the money getting spun around this damn place. But for right now, we're going to wait to see if we get down to 15,200. And if we do, then I think it's go time for a little bit of a buy. Again, there are wicks down to 15,170, so we might have to watch out for that. So I don't think it's load up immediately, but let's see if there is some support. We still have, this is 100 handles to go, but we still have a ways to go till we get down to there. But hey, the net is going up. And whenever the net is going up and you're short, means the market's going down, at least for your stock. So here we go. Nice downside move for NVIDIA. Let's try to find something else. We've already... The day maker would have been right here on AMD, but unfortunately we take about a 20-cent hit there immediately when Powell steps on the podium. That was a stupid move by me, and I deserve to lose because we should not have had an order sit. And I put it there on purpose because I thought we could respect VWAP, and that's exactly what we did. But we did tick higher about 20 cents, which squashed that trade. So for sure, that one's on your guy over here, and we missed that one on AMD, but it's a nice move down. And there might be some bids coming. I mean, I can't hate on anybody that puts bids out right now when you're seeing a stock like AMD that's giving you these bottoms. I think there is a bid possibility right now. I just want to stay short. We've cleaned out of a lot of these positions. So right now we're kind of just, well, not kind of. We're hugely, like I said, the top names here today, CGC, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Tesla, like these are trades that we have on. So let's play with house money on some of these and try to see if we can get a lower push and if the sort of rhetoric that I was spitting right there matters. So let's see if we can get that pushed down to 15,200.
Any day that ends in Y or green is good. Every day is good.
Yes.
I know that you're on the earth. I think if you break down here, just for an idea, I was already in this one. We're fortunate. Sometimes you get the bottom wick and it's more to do with luck. Like I'm just baiting in front of 80 on Rivian because this happened at the open. Like it got down to 78. So I'm thinking just buy in front of 80. But it did stop out for a 6-cent hit like we said we're going to do. Right back underneath VWAP. If this gets under 23, I like you a lot. Yeah, and I just trailed out of, it'll be okay, but that KYVO, nope, it's KVYO. See, I got it right this time. KVYO just popped, so it breaks this consolidation up. I do not want KVYO getting right back in to VWAP and then giving all that profit up. If I like the short again, I can just take the short again, even at a better price in front of 35. So it gave you the move to the downside, which I wanted. You're patient, waiting for the flush to happen. You get it. Don't want to give it all back up again. I do like this Rivian breakdown at 23. If the market's going to make some fresh lows, I want something stair-stepping to the downside, which is going to present me with an opportunity to go even further. The other name which is setting that one up is a name that we got out of at the bottom, a bit of an accidental long that we got out of Intel there. Still stair-stepping to the downside. Very clean downward trend. If the market goes lower, short the pops, right? When I was a trainee, I'll never forget, like there was one guy on the floor, I want to say, I don't know, I think the guy that opened up the restaurant, the Il Fornello.
Ray.
Yeah, and every single time the market was in a downtrend, and I think he was saying this for himself, not for everybody else. Like if the market was in a downtrend, he'd just sit there saying, short the pops, short the pops, short the pops. Just over, and it's the kind of thing that we burned into your head because, hey man, people like catching bottoms. If you can predict the bottom, it feels really good, but it's always easier to play the trend. The trend is your friend. So I'm shorting the pops because that's always worked. Eric in the chat, kind of a random question there. Who will survive longer, GM or Rivian? I'm actually thinking about that one. And like this, I want to quickly say GM just because they make so much money on their legacy. But that's not an easy answer, man. Like legacy auto, I don't know, let's just say GM. I feel like GM. But you know what? I don't think that's as obvious as some people would think. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to be lower, higher, or where from now. I mean, I don't think either one's going to go bankrupt, but if it is, then
Well, it's happened in the past.
it has happened in the past. I would say it would be GM because of the union. So that's what I think is going to eventually happen, because if costs get too blown out there, and it's not the union's fault, I'm just saying, like, different things. Tesla's,
It's their cost.
yeah, Tesla's not unionized, and I don't know if Rivian is or not, but just the cost could start to add up. But look, the government already bailed them out once, so I don't see why that wouldn't happen again. So I would say that's why I said neither. I think they'll both be around, and then I think eventually Rivian gets bought out by Apple or something like that. So we'll see what happens on that one. All right, so we'll talk about buying stuff out. Maybe not today, as there we go, man. We talked about 269. We talked about Tesla getting into their home. So like I said, if you want the big trades on, I mean, here's Tesla, boom. Here's NVIDIA, $4, and here's Brendan at the big desk.
All right, just a quick update, guys. There's really been 3, 4, even 5 questions in a row on the same thing, and that is essentially how they are going to approach the meetings going forward. And to sum it up, data dependent has been said a lot again this afternoon. So really nothing new as far as what Mr. Powell is saying so far.
Exactly. No change there, right? I mean, you knew what you're going to get with that. Keep your eye on the dot plot if that tends to be a good catalyst in there. And then look at the Fed funds rate tool, right? Like you might see some movement. Check out what's going to happen in November. We talked about having some kind of a leading indicator. Just one note, you're bouncing off the same support level on treasuries right now. Gets to TLT gets to like 93.20-ish, and then it bounces. So it's kind of playing the range as well. Until you break down, I don't think anything insane happens to the downside until this breaks. If this breaks, hold on to your butts. Then you can see some real flush. Again, you don't have to watch treasuries or the dollar, but they can be a good indicator. As I said, short the pops. I did have a trail out on Intel. Got out of it. Not everything there, but I got out of everything there. Now I'm just looking for the trend to hold into the downside. CART, I don't want to ignore the IPOs, because if we really crush, Instacart is now $1 away from its issue price.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, like CART's, my 3-minute chart's a bit of a mess there, but my 15's okay. So not a good day for the opening for Instacart. This is 31. You know the issue was at $30. I remember late in the day when, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I remember when Facebook had their IPO and it tested the issue price on the first day in the afternoon, and they just wouldn't let it break. So with the time barrier, if we get to 30 and there happens to be 1 million shares on the bid, I will try 30.05 or like 30.10 or 30.03 or something like that to the long side, and we might get there on Instacart. Down 8% after. Well, I mean, you guys can see what happened there. Not a good day for them. And finally breaking 90 on CGC. So for the last couple of days, we've been hunting for this one. It just broke 90. My first bid's in front of 88, the next one at 86, and then creatively at 84, and then 80. So let's see what happens. It is absolutely flushing into the downside. The new position for me was Intel. But watch out, TLT breaks the low, could get nasty. The ES is already starting to go. The NASDAQ is already starting to go. If treasuries do it too, yeah, you'll be blue if you're holding on to longs. But I don't think there was a reason to hold on to any longs, right? Like, what did we do? We ended up rejecting. Like, there was a long on Meta to 305, but then it started stair-stepping down, so it was easy to get out of, and that's what the NASDAQ did as well. So hold on to your butts, hold on to your shorts. Sometimes you short the pops, and it works out. If it doesn't work out, then at least you lost with the trend. And you know what? If you lose following the trend, it doesn't feel as bad either, by the way, just letting you know. Because you know that you were with the market and you lost doing something that made sense. But you're not going to lose right now with the shorts because we're right back at the bottom.
Oh my God, right now, 425 right now in the money on this trade as we continue to make moves downside right now. So, I mean, this is what you're waiting for when you're trading on a day like this, right? You're waiting for these kind of bigger moves. There is the move down into 268. I just put a bid at 267. I feel like that's good enough, and we should probably just close the trade. I just tweeted it out right now, like, where in the world are we closing this trade? So I just see a lot of consolidation here. Like, could we break below to 265 and take out the day's low? I mean, right now, guys, like, sure, there's going to be traders that are going to have on positions. But like I said, if you're watching the show, go find me another live trader right now. That's $5 in the money on Tesla, $5 in the money on NVIDIA. Is also trading CGC through the day's low right now, and has been hopefully giving you guys entertainment and everything. So with that being said, please just hit the like, the subscribe. And now that you found us, just come back, man. Come back every single day. We do the exact same thing every single damn day, regardless of what this market is up to.
Better not.
So yeah, exactly. Every day. So there it is, man. There's a nice move down, just crushing even more. So let's get down and just close this trade. Yes, sir. Wow, we are having quite the diamond hand kind of day right now, as yeah, $5 in the money times 2 right now. That's $10 right now worth of profit here, and so far so good. And it's going lower. And then like Neil just said too, on the worst of them, here goes CGC coming back in as well. So wow, yeah, you are right, Fabian, whoever hit that one. The market is going to the downside right now, and pretty aggressively. So there goes CGC. I'm bidding. I'm just looking at my bids right now. I've got to double check. So I said I was bidding 86, and that's what I am bidding. So maybe we should take a piece out here at 87 and change, just in case. So we'll kind of join that level there. Hopefully it does swipe down one more time, and if we can get an 86, even better, man. And then we'll work from that. But this is a big move. We did not expect this at all. Trailing stocks.
I'm trailing that at 90 right now.
Yeah, I'll probably keep it. I was more looking at these trailing stops right here. 268.50. This is a great move down for Tesla. So let's just make sure that we capture it as soon as Powell's still on there, Brendo?
Yeah, he's still going.
I can just turn around and see. Yeah, so he's still on there. So, hey, man, we could get a lower push here, or when he leaves,
I expect bounce when he leaves.
maybe it's a pop. So let's just go put it out for 268.50, and then be done with it, and then wrap that up, man. 450 worth of a trade is good for me.
I just think it's one of those, typically speaking, whatever direction you were trending in, there's a little bit of a relief in the other direction when he leaves the podium, right? It's like if he was causing it to go down, he leaves, it goes to the upside, and vice versa. We've been sitting in long sometimes where it's absolutely ripping, he leaves the podium and it pulls back on us. So we got back to the low of the day here. And again, like I think there was probably a bad out there to take some out on Intel. That's not a losing trade, but it continues the trend. So you just join the trend on the next available pop. And once it happens, get out in front of the low of the day, work back into it. This market doesn't show any signs of bouncing, but TLT keeps bouncing. We're holding the same support on the treasuries. That's another reason to get something out at that low of the day. It makes a lot of sense. I can want Instacart to get down there all I want. It's getting dark. It's getting close. We're now at 30 and a half. I can't see the book for every gateway, but I can see one gateway at 30 even, and there's a decent amount of size on EdgeX on Instacart. So remember the issue price being $30. Let's see if they step up and defend it, because if we continue this trend, Instacart wants 30 at this point. I think we have a decent chance of seeing it. I might get my stop order locked and loaded and ready to go. I want to have a stop in place if I even try this long, because it's trending down. You wouldn't want to be caught without a stop. Like if it breaks 30, you do not want to be stuck long on Instacart.
So we got double. Yeah, I cannot believe we're down on Instacart today. That's a shame, because all we were was short, but short too early, so it doesn't matter. There it is, man. We'll hit the siren again one more time, because we got out of the majority of our CGC trade there. We got out that 87, whatever I said it was, that first trade, and then we just punched a little bit more out at 87.50 again. So, you know, there's the trade. Here's the trade off the open. We've already discussed it, all the way back down in. When I put an 86 there, I was kind of like just joking. Like, I didn't think we'd actually get it. So the fact that we did means it's a nice right now. All right, Tesla's still downside. What else can we do? Microsoft at 3. Unbelievable that we were short or looking for that short and missed it. But there's the long on Microsoft before it dipped down. So like I said, Microsoft is another very, very profitable name for me today. And just on this kind of a play, it's one of the top stocks. So you don't have to hit it too aggressively, but you know, when you're getting long here at 328 and getting it out at 329.30s and so on and so forth, and holding 10% and dropping it, that's a good trade. But look at this, man, drop it like it's hot. Yeah, Microsoft right now down to the downside. And all we've been talking about, again, you know, on the after show, on this show, everything, is that wow, okay, holy shnikes.
Oh my God.
$6 now in the money right now for a chicken dinner winner on Tesla. And there it goes, man. We are really coming back in right now on this trade. So, hey, I just hope that you all enjoy the show, continue to watch it. But bye-bye Tesla right now down to the downside. But we're getting into a spot where we should probably just take the profits, man, and get the heck out of here. This is going to be what? $7 in just a couple seconds. Are we going to take down that very bottom of 265 and change? Maybe we are. Can we go top to bottom on the day? That would be nice. It's too bad we don't have that reload. That's my bad. But right now, Tesla coming in real nice, man. Real nice. Down here to 266. I feel like that's a great out if we get it, which we could get it right now.
ES low of the day.
Yeah, ES low of the day, NASDAQ low of the day. Hey, man.
NASDAQ's through the low.
NASDAQ's
way
through the low. Yeah. At the low, like making new lows.
Yeah.
And NVIDIA, $6 in the money. Tesla, $6 in the money. So, hey, man, hope you're enjoying it. Let's go. I don't know, whatever you guys want to watch. Good shut up by Daryl Flinch there on Square. Square's getting shit canned as well. Join me.
There's so many. There's so many shorting opportunities. You could short the IPOs. You could short the market. You actually could have shorted treasuries too, by the way. Like TLT did the same move. Although TLT is trying to break that low as we speak. It is trying to go. I have a trailing stop on both. And we're going to look to hold on. I'm just, Instacart's pretty much right there. Rivian also, Super SPAC man, and made that break-ins at the low of the day as well. Let's go to Brendan, as he's still on the podium, so still more from Mr. Powell.
Making comments here, guys. Both the 2 and 10-year at highs right now, 5.2 on the 2-year. So spiking multi-month highs once again for the 2-year. He's talking once again on economic growth and basically saying that as long as the economy remains strong, he turned very hawkish in the last 5 minutes or so. As long as the economy remains strong, quote unquote, the Fed will have to do more in controlling inflation. So back on the hawkish stance for sure.
Stay hawkish.
Yeah, stay it, baby.
Well, okay, for the day trade, but maybe not do it not forever, ever.
Forever.
Ever?
Yeah, forever. I mean, why not? I mean, stay hawkish forever until we get into better levels. I mean, Jerome Powell will be there for a minute, right? So I mean,
he's not going.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Get the 30.
All right, I'm going to put a little bit more of a bid here on CGC. Maybe we do flush in here, so we'll just take a more. There we go. It just ran us over. So we'll take more fills there, and then put it even lower at 86 and change, and then see if we can get something else down on a potential flush through 87, and then that's that. We just put a stop out here, 266. If it 267. If it breaks higher than 267, man, I feel pretty damn good with $6. So as we're starting to stack it up right now, like I said, the number one, NVIDIA, Tesla, big trades right there, and you got to reward yourselves a little bit. So that's what we're trying to do right now for everybody. So let's wait to see where we go. But so far, so good here with a nice little push to the downside. So, you know, let's just keep it going. We have our stops in. For NVIDIA, this is one where I honestly, man, I mean, this is really cranking lower. If we're going to look at a daily chart here for NVIDIA, it's already gone. So, yeah, we're short this one. Where do we stop? Nobody knows. NVIDIA to the downside. I'm looking at like 425 as a possible spot there. So we'll see if NVIDIA can give us a Christmas present down there at 425. But so far, so good. Possible dip buy opportunities? Nah.
Dip buy?
Yeah.
Well, if he finishes the podium.
Or if it gets there. 429 is the out on this one.
I've always thought a soft landing was a plausible outcome. Plausible is not going to make people confident. They want to hear you say you believe in it. Anyways, fresh lows of the day is going to mean things are at lows of the day. But I want to respect the problem with Intel being at the low of the day is it's also at $35. I happen to really like this level in terms of support. I was saying that this morning that you could have a bounce zone, but it's 320. I kind of was looking at this for a bounce zone if it had flushed into this at 2 o'clock and then play the long, but now you're trending at 320 into that level. So Intel's been taking it on the chin the last couple of days. It's been only short since it got underneath that nice little blue line at 37.5. And I think I'm going to come in thinking it's a short again tomorrow. At some point, maybe we don't get to 30 on Instacart. It's a gimmick E-trade because I don't want to be long going into the level. Like, I only want to be long the stock if there's a bunch of shares on the bid at 30, and then I can have like within pennies of that price, and then try to risk a very small amount. And then if it bounces like 30 cents, you're kind of happy with that move. So it is running out of time for that play. If you're tuning in for the first time, we are day trading on a prop floor. We got to be out of our positions by 4 o'clock. It is 3:23. In 6.5 or 7 minutes, we're going to get the early look on the imbalances at the close. And then at 3:50, we'll get those imbalances. Sometimes there's something, a lot of times they are nothing, but we pay attention to them and let you guys know what we see anyways. I like that little click. I just keep hearing the click. Click.
Yeah, now we can hear everything, so that's pretty cool for sure. I don't really have, that much to talk about right now because, like, we're just in the same positions. So if there's anything anybody else wants us to go over, man, please, because we just put a stop in. I mean, maybe we got to put 428. We just put a stop in at 429 for NVIDIA, but this is, again, like, yeah, it's been a great move, and just trying to stay, as focused and as calm down as possible because, we're focused, man. We're almost out of everything, so not much to do. We've just been watching this go on today right there. Matt Carnes, same thing. He's saying him neither about what to do. So, yeah, just, just stay diligent. Let's just hit the scanner. And, again, watch this, Square. Just a big shout-out today because we had this on our sticky note yesterday. If I could find the one.
Yeah, the 52-week low.
Yeah,
made
exactly.
A fresh 50
$50 breaking. We had the Jack Dorsey news and the CEO. I have so many sticky notes around here everywhere. But anyways, here it is.
That's an ugly-looking daily chart.
Right, we had Cart, Neo short yesterday as well. But we have Brendan on the ones and twos.
Get ready for the bounce here, guys. He's left the podium and kind of summed it up in one phrase, I guess, right at the end that makes a lot of sense, and that is still work to do. So, as we see with the market today, still work to do for the Fed.
All right, there it is, out 267 right there. Awesome. So, hey, we are now done with Tesla. Good out. I feel like let's wait to see where it goes now. We may get into nothing else. So there it is. Nice out for us on that. We basically got we didn't get the very bottom. The very bottom is 266.15, but we got 267.20s. So there it is. Happy with that out. Looks like NVIDIA is going to get squashed out now as well, but he is now done. So let's wait to see if there's a pullback anywhere now. Looking for Microsoft to maybe take the 50 period, Apple, everything. Like now, you're way back up. So there it is, man. Yes, sir. We have wrapped up the trading, man. That was,
oh my God.
How fun was that? Right there. We'll probably be reviewing all of this at 4 o'clock. Let's hope to see where the market goes now. But so far, so good. Good moves, man. Happy Fed Day. Merry Christmas to all.
Yeah, and to all a good night. But not yet because we still have a half an hour to go. Maybe there's some plays. I just saw like Super Spackman say retrace plays. I looked at I put my trailing stop at 35 or just above 35 on Intel here, but then the volume when it came back up and trailed me out wasn't very impressive. Like it just immediately starts rejecting. It almost looks like a bad out in the time being. So I don't know that I love that one. It would have been an obvious. Maybe like Apple for a retracement play. Apple wasn't too bad off of the lows. But again, like the volume isn't exactly screaming to the upside or anything like that. So I'm not that huge on it. I know we ignore that DTOC. A lot of time for what's and giggles. Oh, no. We'll talk about a name like this, but obviously we're not really dealing with it. It is at the high that just be careful with this. I understand it's made a double up and all that good stuff, but it's a very liquid name. It could be at 15 tomorrow, it could be at 10 tomorrow, it could be at 50 tomorrow, all those kinds of things. And you have that overnight risk. So great trade if you happen to have it long. I wouldn't necessarily be chasing the top here on DTOC. It's halted at least like 10 times today or whatever that number happens to be. A lot of times we'd go over a little bit more. The banks, Kay Lindo was asking about BAC. I was looking at that, obviously 150 that got failed today on JPM. But yeah, BAC looking weak as well. It's holding green, so I guess that's a positive. It's right in the middle of a range. Yeah, that's a yucky trading zone there. BAC, short above 29, longs at 28, diddle in the middle at 28.5. That's what that tells me on the daily chart. But yeah, it is trying to hold on to green. But like everything else, the trend is to the downside. I don't think that surprises anybody. We're showing you guys JPM, which couldn't hold on to 149, trend down. But bigger moves in some of the chip names. Like this is flat. BAC's flat. NVIDIA's down 1.5. Intel's down 3.5. Meta's down. I don't know why I just said Meta. Meta's actually down 1.3. I'm sure there's something.
You know why you didn't say Meta?
No, I'm sure there's a Magnificent 7 name down more than Meta today, like Amazon, right? Like Amazon.
Is that part of it? Amazon, Magnificent 7?
Actually, you know what? Meta's worse than Amazon today. And Alphabet, 1% to the downside. So most of these names, sorry, Alphabet 2.5% to the downside. Alphabet's the one that's weaker, not Amazon.
Yeah, Microsoft 1.7. What did you say Alphabet was? Oh,
2.5.
2.5.
2.5.
Okay, yeah. So that's
Give me the
winner.
Bring on the 50 period.
Winner.
Well, the loser, I guess.
Yeah. Well, wins the
wins the race.
What's the lowest?
Wins the race.
Okay, so we got out 267. Let's see if that's going to work out. Obviously, Tesla's come back in. I do want to put a long on, and I want to go long on Tesla now. So what about this break right here? 267.80. That's where we just wicked to on that stop out that we got stopped out. We got stopped out at 20. We talked about that, so whatever, it's right here. Let's go long if we could break there. That's right where the 21 period is. We'll hold that back in, and we'll give it about 50 cents worth of room. Okay. Although I think that you could probably get stopped out with just 50 cents worth of room, but if we can take 50 cents on the first piece, maybe a little bit less than half, and then hold it back in, I feel like that makes some sense. So we're going to go all in. I would go all in calls right now as well. Someone in the chat just said there. All in, I mean, we have those zero expirations. That's what I'm talking about. You could get a bump up now that Powell's left. We've seen it happen before. Does not mean, N-O-T mean, that it's going to happen. I mean, if we had, here, will the NASDAQ finish green today? I'm going to ask this right now. I don't think it's out of the question.
Green?
Yeah.
What are we at?
Minus 0.8. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what's happening right now on this one. Only if Sean says so.
That's a bad one.
No, because I'm trying to get an opinion. So I was like,
when you're asking the question, that doesn't make sense.
Only if Apple is negative will it get green. So it's a little bit of a fail here right now.
Good job,
on our Magic 8 Ball, because if
we're not getting green without Apple.
Only if Apple is green. Is that what it said? Okay, you're right.
But Apple's down 1.3%.
Yeah, so the market could get green before Apple. But anyways, okay, that's our 8 Ball. We have some fun here.
Yeah, we have to have fun.
That's what that was.
Kind of thinking,
whether or not we trust the 8 Ball with our lives.
Well, you should not, by the way. It's for fun. You guys understand that. And it's customized, which is cool.
Pump it, says user. Yeah, let's go, man.
I like Google. When I saw Google was down 2.5%, I just feel like it's got the most room to VWAP. We're going to get the early look on the imbalances. 600 million to sell is the early look for the imbalances. That's not a tremendous amount. But if we bounce off this low, or at least hold a higher low on Alphabet, the R&R here looks pretty darn good. So the sell imbalance doesn't necessarily mean a heck of a lot. If you look at individual names, which we should have some early looks here.
That bottom, 266.07.
Let's just see what we have going on. Sometimes you get some of these NYSE names. Uber is an early buy of 1.8 million. Maybe that's something. Neo, 500,000. That's not a heck of a lot. Looks like the early looks, Verizon to sell and Uber to buy are probably the only two. But yeah, if we bounce off this low on Google and I can take a shot off this 134.30, I don't mind that. Just because I feel the R&R is pretty good. I'm not going to sit here and mention and show you guys Uber and then see. I should at least see if it's doing anything or something off 47.
We're still going lower. So I thought it was good risk to reward right here at 266.50. You can get out for flat if you want it. I'm long right now, 266.50 on Tesla right now, just against the risk to reward, man. I thought that bottom that's already been made at 266, that was worth holding a little bit there. So we took the long right here at 266.59. Okay, I thought I had 266.50 flat, but 59. So we're going to take about 50 cents worth of risk here, breaking back down below to try to make 50 cents. And if the market does go, maybe we can get a higher take on this one right now. So we'll sit around 267 to get out of like 20% of this. If it does go, great, but it looks like here it comes. Looks like it wants to come right back into the bottom. So again, a 60-cent hit here on a tester position. Let's see. I still wanted that. There it goes. I still wanted that 266.80, so we could cancel that now, because there's the all-in on your calls. Nah, don't do that anymore, because there it goes. Nice downside move to the bottom now for everything. Now it's going to look bad where we got out because we're $1 lower than that right now. And the same thing for NVIDIA, but hey, if it goes the other way, then it's not great. But wow, there goes NVIDIA to the downside. So, all right, we took our extra shot there on Tesla. That might have been a mistake because the market is bleeding to the downside again right now. Remember, hey, what was that level that I said that would go to? 15,200? Okay. We're at 15,211 right now. So as we get close, this could be a spot. Like I said, we've already tested the long. Maybe we'll try it one more time. But we are coming into a possible support area. But damn, we nailed that call, man. That's what I'm saying. We should have got back into the futures. That's too bad. We should have traded futures today.
So remember I said I like the 30 bounce because I think the underwriters might support 30 and there'd be size there? That's not what I had in mind.
Oh, damn.
There's like 100,000 shares on the offer of Instacart at $30 when it's done 13 million. Yeah, I'm not taking that bounce. If it was, like I said, I wanted 1 million shares on that bid. Like, defend it and don't get embarrassed that you trade underneath that price on the second day. But it's not a very big bid on Instacart. So I know I said I liked it if it was going to be a big buyer. It's not big enough. Not when the market is flushing like this. I don't want to stand in front of that. Let's go to the desk and take care of some business.
Frank on yesterday, guys, got us set for this event that happened this afternoon with Fed Chair Powell. Shout out to Frank Caberna and IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD. Spreads as low as 0.8 pips. Zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
Terms and conditions. Look at ARM. We show the good with the bad. It ain't easy. Every now and then it's going to happen. If you're going to take a short when a stock is going up and relatively strong, sometimes, okay, it's not top wick, but like effectively it's the same thing. I didn't really stick with it. There were other good shorts. Obviously the IPO today, that KVY, whatever the heck it is, that was a good one to the downside. There was lots of great opportunities to go short, but I did take this tight stop on ARM and it looks terrible. It's within $1 of its issue price. It wasn't much of a bid on Instacart. Maybe it's like on to the next. I don't like it on cart, but I always have flashes of what happened on Facebook's day, so I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but if we get to 51 and I see a big size there, I want to take this shot. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't at least try it, if I saw a few million on the bid of ARM at 51.
Yeah, so just shout out to everybody that's watching here. We're going to go one more time into the long. Why? Because we're at that 15.2 right now on the NASDAQ. So we'll just try it here on Tesla, see if the long will work. We're long right here at 13s. Let's just see where it goes. I mean, this is one last chance to see if it can go. I feel like this is well worth it. I mean, this is why we trade, right? Is we trade to get the big winners off of very little risk. Like this winner right there was a short at 273 against 274. So when we wind up catching $6 on this trade against about $1, maybe a little bit less than that of risk, that's well worth it, right? And so we'll try to see if we can do something similar. See if we can get this back in and around 267. It's going to need some work to get back up to the upside, so we can afford to leave it alone right now. But yeah, that's been good. So we'll just wait to see. I mean, again, if you want to take the futures right now, I don't think it's a horrible spot to grab the long. You've had a nice move down. The thing is, though, if you're playing trend, I mean, you know, I feel like you're just praying that this is going to be a good level, but it's held before down here. And remember, though, this is why it's going to be a short stop look here, because if it goes back down, you actually have been down here. This is a 60-minute chart, so these wicks happened twice down to the downside. So realistically, that is the ultimate short, I feel like. If you really break below that, then you're looking lower, and you know, and we talked about this when it was going to be released. Either we get up here to 15.5, which didn't happen, or we're going to see this level. So that's part of the reason why, man. We held a big short. It worked out. It printed for us. So the rest, as they say, is history. So that was a good name there for us to take out. But right now, we're only going to be in Tesla until it breaks. That's the TQs. We're only going to be in Tesla until it breaks 264.50. And if it breaks that, then that's that. That's gone. And we can assume that this O's is not going to hold. So let's see if it goes back up to the upside. We just tried along. Remember what we tried right there? So we tried 260, 650 out, 266 flat. So about a 50-cent worth of a hit. We were almost in the money, 40 cents there. Let's see. I just want to see if this can go. Here it goes. Here's the break. So now we'll give this one 50 more cents. We are giving money back here for sure, but oh man, wow. This market is Neil.
It's just bleeding. I'm covering more CGC, by the way, just because.
Oh yeah, I still got that, but that's not moving.
No, it's fine. It's just
there it goes.
It's caught
down again.
Yeah, I wanted to see Alphabet bounce, but
wow.
If it bounced, like it comes back in. If it bounces off the low, like I was looking for it to bounce here and then break back out. So show me a consolidation, break the range of the consolidation. It didn't happen, so I'm not in it. If you just short the pops, obviously it would have been nice to short the pops. I'm not completely convinced that we're going to get to 51 on ARM. It's struggling at 52, and that is a time limit on that trade. I mean, if it doesn't happen soon, then there's no time for me to put that one on. But like I love the IPO issue defense level, and I look over at all the exits. It's like, okay, get trailed out, still looks pretty good to the downside, and you know, you're not always happy if you get out too early. And I look back over at KVYO. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I thought the stock was a short today. I didn't think it was that kind of a short, but this wants to get back to its issue price. This was a $30 issue. It's at $30.80. Everyone's been talking about IPO season is back, and you know what's going to happen? Someone's going to write an article. You'll see it, and you probably can guess who. And they're going to say KVYO with a successful debut up 2.5%. And then you guys are all going to remember what the chart looked like today about that successful IPO that Kenview. I know. KVYO had, oh goodness, Klaviyo. ARM is underneath 42, so I am not defending the IPO price on Klaviyo. Not with a 10-foot pole would I not do that. But 51 at ARM, if I see $1 million on the bid, I'm doing it. So let's see what happens there. We are headed more to the downside. If I put another trade on, I think it's going to be ARM at 51 if I see a couple million shares on that bid. I just want to make sure I have my stop locked and loaded before we get down to that price.
I still can't believe that today we had short Instacart and we had it written all over the sticky note, and we liked the trade, and it was such a good trade, and you know, and then all we did was lose on this stock today. So here's the short, 31s into 32s, stopped out. Short 33s, stopped out once we take 33. But anyways, now you're breaking through 30 there. So quite a nasty little move down for Instacart today as it's getting insta-flattened down there right now. So bye-bye. Okay, finally, something worked out risk to reward right now. We were going to go against that 424 level. Instead, we got NVIDIA back into the long. So now we make back everything that we lost on Tesla with just one move back up to the upside here. So hopefully it can continue. Oh, I got a stuck order there. Refresh it. Okay, bang. There it is right there. Let's go.
Oh my God.
So there it is right now. 75-cent winner right there on NVIDIA. Now maybe that's the bottom. I don't know. Let's just wait to see if it is, and then we'll trade it from there. So right now we've got NVIDIA on our mind, not Tesla. So nice move up. There it is. Now we're $1, so that's going to join the dollar club right now back up to the upside. So there it goes. Yes, sir. So now it's 2-1. Let's see if it continues to go up. Whether or not that's the bottom or not, we just made back what we lost, so all good on that one. Tesla can still go directly to hell, and it looks like that is where it's going. So still making new bottoms. We'll review this at 4 o'clock, but I'm pretty happy with it. $6 to the downside, then 2 50-cent hits right there. So remember, if you go to a concert when Nickelback is performing and 50 Cent,
it is.
You get it's the concert's called 45 cents, right? But it doesn't matter. Okay, so there's a nice move back.
It's not a bad joke.
It's not a bad joke. It could be better. It needs to be refined. Thank you very much for that one. But yeah, good call so far on CGC. I might just get out if it breaks 88. I don't know what's going to happen with this one. We're almost out of it all anyways. As you can see, we've just taken some nice bids here, 87-ish.
Yeah, 89 looks like the local high there for me. I'm glued to, at this point, what I think it would be like the next trade, that 51 is a factor. Amma Hamada saying, are those defendable levels like SSR and IPO price levels, are they good for tomorrow? Yeah, I mean, look, if ARM gets to 51, if it doesn't get to 51 today and it goes to 51 tomorrow, it's not 10% down anyways. I think Instacart is actually. But yeah, I mean, if
Instacart's down right now.
I mean, if Instacart's down 10%, and it's SSR tomorrow, and it bounces off the issue price, would I like that trade? Sure. If I see 1 million shares on the bid at the IPO issue price, I'm taking a shot at it. And if I lose doing that, fair enough. But I'll never forget, anybody that's been trading a long time will understand what happened on Facebook that day. It didn't even have to move much, but there was 15 million shares on the bid, and you could see the market maker was Morgan Stanley. 15 million shares on the Morgan Stanley bid. They were peppering away at it at the issue price. It got down underneath 5 million. Everyone's like, it's going to go. Because the first day was bad for Facebook. It was actually very weak. Like, it's going to go, it's going to go. Everyone's staring at it. It's going to break down. This is an absolute bloodbath. And then when it got down to a couple million shares, they re-upped it to 10. And all I'm telling you is you're sitting down, all you had to do was punch long. And anybody that punched, it was the easiest win you've ever seen. The program just started buying up, you were in and you were out, and it was unlimited liquidity. And I'm not saying that's going to happen with ARM, but 51 is the issue price. So if we see it, we'll try to defend it. I think the underwriters are going to be on the bid, trying to buy it up. They don't want to get embarrassed. Right now, it doesn't look very good for them. Right? Like if you, I mean, the first day was fine, but if this resolves and breaks 51, anybody that invested in this is looking bad, and anybody that got the issue is out of the money in less than a week. So I think they could defend that 51 price. It doesn't mean it has to work, but it means it's worth a shot for me.
All right. All right. Yeah, there he is right there, reloading again. So we got reloaded. So there it is, another dollar times 2 right now for this trade. So here we go. Let's see what happens with NVIDIA. We might not have a dollar. I don't know. We actually got 424.40 right there. So our first fill is 55s. Our next fill is 40. Double the outs up there again as well as, hey man, like this is 40 cents worth of a win and we just put in our pocket 70 there. So hopefully it will continue to go back up to the upside. And if it, hey man, if it doesn't, it doesn't, and we are fine with that. So let's just wait to see where it goes. We've already taken out the profits on this one, so NVIDIA will be the #1 score here today. And just short everything, says Diego, yes. And those of you that were saying Hydration Nation, you must have been here for a while, so we got to stay hydrated because right after this, in 15 minutes, we're not stopping. We're going to bring you more content coming through. We have Chris Brecher. He's going to talk all about some of the trades that he put on today. He was talking to me about some Google Fly put. Okay, we'll find about that. We'll see what he's going to talk about, and he's going to come on with me today as well at 4:15. We'll talk about all of the sector watches and what sectors have been moving today, why, where, and how. You know what? We can check out also what is OIH up to today, because I keep forgetting what our oil symbol is. This is oil services, so it looks like it's going to be down a little bit there today. And then USO, United States Oil, as well. I believe oil's down today, right? And so, yeah, down 1.5%. So oil today bleeding a little bit down to the downside. So, yeah. Nice moves. We'll talk all about this, the commodity sector and everything like that. And then also tonight we have some big earnings from FDX coming through, FedEx, and then we have KB Homes, which I think someone's invested in KB Homes. Yeah, he's panicking right now. He's a little bit concerned about the housing sector. So live on tonight's show will not be Warren Buffett.
No, he will not. But it was weird because the timing of that buy, it was interesting. A lot of times he has the best timing in the world, financial crisis. But yeah, it's interesting to see what's going on with those. I'm going to cancel. ARM just bounced off 51.5. So when I look at that trade, I think it's well worth it, but it's not worth it to risk. Like you're taking it because you want 50 like 10, something like that. Like look at it bounce to the upside here. So yeah, they defended in front, but it never even gets close to the level where I would have wanted to get it. Unfortunately, that's just how it happens. I bet you Instacart. Okay, and again, Instacart did make the bounce. Look at the 30 level on Instacart, so it would have worked. I flipped over to ARM, and what is with this chart? I'm missing some data, but you guys can see the 30. This is 30. This is the IPO price. This is the reason I was talking about this. I thought ARM was a better opportunity, be more buyers in front of it for ARM than Instacart. Based on this bounce, it's only 30 cents. That tells me it's true, but they are defending that level like a champion. It's not going all that far. I shouldn't laugh. That's not a good sign for Instacart. The fact that it's holding this low and not really bouncing much with the market, I would take that as a bit of a bad sign. Like you just saw, without even getting there, $1.50 on ARM, Instacart can't go more than 30 cents off this level.
Yeah, Instacart's
Yikes if this level breaks tomorrow, by the way.
Instacart's going to have some problems. That is for sure, but here we go. Let's see what's happening. We got NVIDIA again. There is a little bit of a, there's a little bit of a bump happening now, so we'll get a piece out here if we can. Like, that's me at 73, like, as if. What is going on? We did not get any outs up there. So I don't know. That seemed to be pretty violent. I almost feel like our quotes kind of went through me there a little bit, but okay, cancel the 73 then. We get it right there anyways. We get a 65. Let's put something up in the 90s in case it really wants to go. Like, there it is. Like, You know what? I think it's just kind of levitating into our prices and then not filling. So there it is. We had to punch out at 88.
It's close to 350.
Yeah, it's close to 350. So what was that number again? 600 to sell?
582.
582, so a little bit there, no change there. 597 to 582, so okay. But there it is again. We buy it back, those bottoms. So we actually got stopped out, but then it came back in, so we bought it again. So this NVIDIA, although it's been fine, we have one stop out. Let's just keep on riding it to the high side. We still have 60% of this one left. So here it goes, man. 34 is in the money now, 50 cents. Where's been the top? I mean, we should put an order right there. Oh, that's 26s? Oh, wow, there's a lot of room to go. 425.50. Let's just put an order in case, again, it's somehow levitates up there. I'd like to be, now we're gonna get stopped out. I was gonna say, I'd like to be in this, into this number in case NVIDIA somehow has a buy imbalance on it. But, you know, we are prepared, as you always should be, with stop orders in order to get out like we've been doing. So there it is. Like, it's just we're getting stopped out, but we are taking advantage of the move for like half of the shares, right? So it just hasn't been that eventful. There really has been no bounce. So as we sit here and try to catch it, we're kind of like dumbfounded because there really has been none. And then Tesla just continues to go, man. Like, to have still been in that short would have been nice. But again, I was really happy getting out at 266, not happy trying to catch a falling knife. But there it is right there. Hopefully here comes the bump for NVIDIA, now back in the money. Let's just make it simple, man. I know I said I'd be at the 40s. Let's just go in for $1, see if we can get that out on a little bit of a spike with only 30 seconds to go right now.
That's a nasty bounce in arm, man. It was definitely better, but again, it has to give you your entry point. And for me, I was never risking 50 cents. It wasn't that type of a trade where you're risking 50 cents to make $1.50. It was a type of trade where you're risking 10 to 20 cents to make whatever the bounce happened to be. And if it happens to go $1, fine. But that is a nasty. The market didn't even do squat. And that just made a huge relief rally. This is why I care about those. In 5 seconds, we're going to get the imbalances. We'll see. I mean, obviously, sometimes you get a big number on a Fed day. You know, other times it's a bit of a nothing burger. Intel to the sell side, 3 million. TLT sell, Alphabet sell, 1 million. One of the banks there. Everything else sell side. Tesla. I just saw Tesla, then it disappeared. There it is. Tesla 600,000 to the sell side there. So overall, 1.7 billion to the sell side is the overall number. I mean, I'm still looking at ARM over there. Nothing crazy. I mean, Intel, here's the thing. Intel always pairs off. Unless there's some kind of an index action with this. That 3 million number generally pairs. Like, look at that. Like, everything just trended down. You give up on the short, and the short just keeps on working. So 3 million to sell. I don't know that I would sell this at the low of the day because it has a sell imbalance.
No,
it's
not
just
at this
not.
point.
Like, if it was, I mean, if it was at VWAP, if it was at a better, if it was off of 35, if anything, I might think about at 355 when you get that big market update in terms of the imbalances pairing off a lot of times. I'd almost look for a potential bounce play when Intel pairs. If it pairs from 3 million to like 500,000 or something, you might get like a little relief scalp trade off the 355 level. It just tends to be a trade that works out every now and then. So it's worth watching. I think that's going to be a bit of a nothing burger on Intel. And Alphabet's 1 million actually isn't even that big. A million on Alphabet's okay. On a Fed day, nothing big. Got to get out of CGC. It doesn't want to get down any further. There's now 87.
Oh yeah, I got out of that already.
Yeah, like
I think I got out right about here. I was bidding 87 inch.
Here we go.
Yeah, 87.30s.
I just didn't get it. I actually had a little piece there, but yeah, you can see stair step right down there at 87. I think the short's still probably good, maybe up to 90 level tomorrow. But I feel like it's going to be an IPO bottom defense day tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
I mean, CART is hanging at the 30 level. KVY, that's frustrating as hell. KVYO is hanging at the 30 level. That's where its issue price was. And finally, the one that bounced is the one that has the major players buying it, right? And that's going to be ARM. So ARM hangs on. It goes to 51.50. 51 is the price. Super SPAC man, do I think Rivian can hold 22.5? I don't know. It's kind of there now. In 7 minutes, anything can happen. There's no liquidity at this time of day. What I do know is Rivian feels like a short till it's not. Like, look at it, reject the 50 period. It's been hugging that level. Couple of days now, running away from it. I think it's stair step down. I stopped out of this one and did not get back into it. That was my pre-Fed short, but Rivian looks like a short from here, especially off the 23.5 level. Whether it gets to that big level today, that's hard to say.
Okay, so just before we, this is first opportunity to tell you guys about this, but we just got out, just before the number came, we got out another piece of NVIDIA right here at 425 because, like we said, did not want to take any risk into the imbalances, right? So we do have still a position on right now, and it's only 30% of our initial trade. So again, you know, by taking, I guess, 70 cents 3 times out of 70% of the trade, now if we take that bottom, it does not matter. It's going to be a good one no matter what. But here it goes again. Maybe we just finish it off right now, take this out. I got to flip back over, so I'll sacrifice a little bit. But I still think we can get into 425.80. Like, you know, let's put a bid right there right now. Maybe we can sit here for a little bit longer and see if we can get that. So 425.80, we just put an offer in there right now in case we get a little bit of a rip here at 355. That could be something. So let's go. Hopefully some upside moves coming in through right now. Let's go. We'll see if we can make this. We're now almost $1 in the money on this, so that'd be really great. Let's see a nice little move back up to the upside. Thank you very much, if we can get it. So here it comes right now. Now we're starting to pump a little bit on the name. It looks like Tesla probably would have been a little bit of a better buy off the bottom. That's 63. That's up about $1.50 right now off the bottom, while NVIDIA is up. Well, I guess NVIDIA is up something similar. That very bottom is 424. So we need to get this going just a little bit more. The problem is Tesla green, or well, Tesla's not green on the day anymore, is it? No, down, but was a green name all day and is more aggressive than the market to the upside. So I could see, there it goes, see, look, NVIDIA, all right, one more shot, right? We'll get it out here at 425 if it does go back up. We've just given this, that was a shot right there to go, did not. So right now we will take a piece out right there for that if it does come back, and then we'll wait for that big bad move coming through at the end of the day. If it does, then that's 425.70. We're gonna put an offer out right there, push enter and see if we can get it. But for right now, one more piece out at 425 if we can get it, and then that's it, man. No more orders out, no more pending bids or offers, and that will be the end of that one. Thank you. Oh, it looks like we're gonna, we almost got rinsed out again. Looks like it'll take it out right now. Oh no, go to the screen, go to the screen. There you go, we are down to 424, we're almost out. We could get out for flat right there. It just tested 424. Oh, it resisted a little bit. Let's go, try to get going. But yeah, there it is, man. The flip just happened on the imbalances. So I think everything probably paired off. And right now, TLT, the Treasury, who cares? Intel's still there as a big sell, so that's fine. Other than that, yeah, there's not much as far as size is concerned right now on the imbalance. But here it goes, let's go. A couple more pennies up, and then we will get out of the I'm at 87, no. A little bit higher up there, and we'll be able to get out of this play. One more push, baby, and then we will get out. But so far, so good there. I got to get ready to go over the other show, so hopefully this will fill and we can get out of here.
Intel's still flush, by the way.
Really?
So that sell amount actually did play to the downside. You can see it closing at 34, 34.60. Well, it's not closed yet. We have 4 minutes to go. Still plenty of time. But you look, Cart got underneath. They tried to defend it. And they actually successfully wicked underneath and is back above that price, still only bouncing 30 cents. 30-cent bounce in the face of what ARM just did. Like ARM was the one that didn't quite get to the level I wanted, unfortunately. But if you did go for that long and you said it's not breaking 51, the buyers stepped up. It's almost back into VWAP. As the market's flushing, I think we can successfully say that there are people wanting to support that price, and CART is an absolute mess of a trade. It's been a fun one. Fed Day is always going to be fun because you get some extra volatility in the afternoon, but don't sleep on the rest of this week, right? Because then you go right back into what has been fun trading. Not just, I mean, the weed names have been good. The EV names have been fantastic. Heck, we didn't even talk about a firm. That stock moves a heck of a lot. And then big cap tech's been giving you winners. There's no IPO tomorrow, but all three of them are going to be in play based off of these levels that we could be looking at. Man, if they all break the low, everyone has been running their mouths about IPO season. And if all three of these within 1 week are underneath the issue price and people are underwater, not a good look. Shout out to you, Carter, for reminding me about a name, IBM. We sit here and we've been talking about names that are dogs all day today. How about we talk about something that's good? IBM is up 2% today, actually going to hold on barely to the 150 level. If you look at it, it's holding on to a break through the top on the daily. So why not, right? ABM's been absolutely fantastic, super strong. You always want to note relative strength and relative weakness, and it's there in spades for something like IBM here. I was kind of looking for Oracle to be a little bit stronger than it was, but Oracle does not break out the 115, so it's an IBM kind of thing. UPTD is halted. If something halts right now, just an update to you, for anybody that, if you're interested, when a stock halts this late in the day, the opening print will be 4 o'clock. The quote-unquote closing print will be the opening print, and then it'll trade in the aftermarket. So UPTD halted. I'm assuming volatility halts going into the end of the day here. I wasn't trading it, obviously. So just look for this sucker to open back up at 4 o'clock. If you can't trade in the aftermarket, then you're stuck. But it'll open right at 4. I'm not going to touch it, obviously. And AVGR, I'm just going to reiterate what I said earlier when it comes to Avenger. I think it's a bit dangerous at these prices. I wouldn't have chased that top, but hey, it's still going. Remember where this is coming from, and it's coming from complete insanity. It's already a triple up. After reverse split, make a bottom, and it's now 3.5 times to the upsides. That's 350% in 3 days. No one ever went broke taking profit. This stock could be back at $5 or $6 in an absolute heartbeat. I have no idea when it was. If I knew, I'd be short this thing in my personal account, but you just don't know. And for most people, that's a pretty darn good gain. You might want to take it if you can. Less than 1 minute. It's been fun. It's been wild. Thank you guys so much. We got over 1,000 likes already, so I don't have to beg for those. I don't know who's going to be on the bell. It's a toss-up. Does Adair want to be on the bell? Does Katrine want to be on the bell? Does Ramin want to be on the bell? I have no idea, but you got 30 seconds to decide who's going to do it. It looks like Ramin just ran over there aggressively. Okay. It's like 20 seconds left to go, but that was a quick move on over there for you. A little possessive about that bell. 15 seconds ago, you're not going anywhere at 4 o'clock. The market is going to be closed, but we do have the recap show with Sean. There you go, right after. You don't have to do anything. You'll be right here in 5. The countdown didn't work when I hit it. What did you guys do? 2 and 1, ring it. So that was weird. The countdown didn't work. I don't know why. That was a strange one. But the market is closed. Casino closed. And by the way, it closed on the low of the day. So Big Papa Pump, Mr. Powell does not give us what we're looking for. However, we had lots of opportunities to the south side that did work out. So if you enjoyed those shorts, look out for them. There are some earnings to get to and some plays for the aftermarket. So I want to say a shout out to Fabian and Ramin doing a fantastic job with all the shots. Great job in the middle of the day as always by the professor and Obi-Wan Kenobi filling in for Max. Brendan doing his thing as always. I'm Neil. You're headed right to the market recap with Sean and special guest. Lots to discuss today, Sean. Lots to discuss.
Welcome, everybody, to the Market Recap Show as we're just getting set up here. So thank you so much for joining. We'll fix our chair and get ready to rock and roll with you. We've got a big guest coming up. We got Chris Brecher coming up from Simpler Trading. That should be a lot of fun, as it normally is. We have a lot to talk about right now. And wow, what breaking news. Put up the thing for the topics. What breaking news do we have today, man? And it's the Fed. It's all about the Fed. We got what we expected, but